Ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises. You ain't stopping this, cross my shit, you'll be knocked unconscious, bitch. That's the consequence, I got this, I will not quit. Man, I'm on it, honest, I'm gonna launch quick, then I'm gone. It's just a matter of time before I'm over the climb and moving under my prime. Just quit my 9 to 5, I'm rocking and they watching, cause it's shocking. Dropping all these top 10 songs, so stopping. It's time to live my life, it's time to live, not die.
Alright, peoples, what's up? Let me know if my audio works. I know this mic probably sounds like shit, but it's all I got at the moment. If this works out, I may be able to go back to my headset, but I don't want to change anything unless I need to. So, 6 people, what's up, Gregor? How you doing, sir? Thanks for stopping in. I'll go ahead and put the link out there now. Everything's already set up anyway, right? All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know I hear myself on this end, but what the problem was, I wouldn't have been able to hear on my side. But I know it may seem a little echoey, but I do apologize for that. I'm gonna try to switch over to my headset in a second. All right. Yeah. Give me about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch over to my headset. I just didn't want to switch over before I knew if the whole choppy thing was happening or not. As long as it's not all choppy, then I'll be able to jump on. Matter of fact, I'll do that now. Stay with me, people. I'm just gonna go. All I'm doing is switching over to my headset, so that way it doesn't sound so crappy. I'm pretty sure you're probably all you're hearing right now is it sounds like I'm in a hallway or something. I think.
All right, so I'm off. Okay, I'm back to the headset. So I'm guessing it will sound a shit ton better. Um, and again, don't worry, the new mic won't be sounding like that for long. It's just the fact that it doesn't have the little phantom adapter to it that goes with it, so it is going to sound like crap for then. So that's why I'm not using it. But don't think I'm not ready to use this bad boy. I'm staring at it, and I want to use it. I just can't because I don't have the parts yet. So, all right, so I can turn that off so I don't hear myself 15 times. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so what the problem was is that earlier I was watching Netflix, and I had Netflix on a mono, so it was on one ear, and then I had something going on in the other ear, and then I had my speakers playing, and I didn't change it back to default, so it was my computer is actually trying to swap out between 3 different microphones and headsets. So isn't that wonderful? But like I was saying, I wanted to get into this whole bendy water thing, and I've heard it the whole time I was here around as a flat earther, and when I heard it, it sounded funny because I never heard that from any scientist. Never, not even one time. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of concerned with, well, where did you get it from? Why do you guys refer to it as bendy water? Um, Earlier on Jose's, I know quite a few people tried to give a very good explanation for this, and kind of goes over people's heads sometimes, and it gets frustrating. But at the same time, let's go through it. Let's figure this out. Yesterday, Mind of God had a wonderful idea, whereas in doing these experiments, both sides makes no sense to me. Why you wouldn't? Why wouldn't you want to spread the word? Why wouldn't you want to have that person that's always said all your evidence is a lie be standing right there next to you when it comes time to do the test? One of the hardest things about these is realistically, I can go over all these, anything I want, give you the numbers that I want, right? That's basically what Flat Earth's narrative is for with science, I guess. But why aren't they realizing that the information they're putting out is 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 coming from no sources? It's whatever narrative is being said in Flat Earth, whether you have a different narrative than someone else, it's still something that came from another flat earther. Think about that. And none of them came from a reputable source that is actually capable of doing these things. You would think, I mean, for instance, Ranty, he's been taking pictures for a very long time now. You would think that he would take classes or really study the things that he's doing with all these images, right? But almost on every hangout after a fact that he's taking pictures, he's always talking about the different the optics that happen in atmosphere, but he doesn't have the understanding behind them. He doesn't even try to explain them. He just says, "Oh, it must be." Now, say anybody teaching you something, or anybody that is a reputable source or a professional at something, if they said a lot of "I don't knows," uh, and couldn't really explain what they were seeing, would you have very much faith in their ability to understand what they are even doing? Because that's the thing that kind of is really becoming clear to me. You're either carrying a narrative that keeps you on top of quote unquote the flat earth narrative pole, like the person that came out with planes don't use fuel. Like for the first week, that guy was riding high. He was like, I came up with the best conspiracy theory on earth. Problem is that 1,000 people, if that, heard it and then ran with it without looking into it, without realizing, did you actually have to have an understanding of whatever field you're trying to make these claims for? I didn't say you have to be an expert. You do have to understand it though. And one of the issues was that Mind of God didn't understand. And again, you should be able to understand what I'm saying, because for you to be denying so much of what the globe observations give us, you should be able to 100% explain why we are seeing what we're seeing, and it is wrong. Because again, guys are running around saying, acting like every bit of evidence, every bit of evidence that we put forth comes from quote unquote the man. Yet you don't understand that all the tests that people are doing around here, around this community, they're doing tests they can do themselves. We're not bringing in peer-reviewed journals and reading it as all our evidence. There are people taking these pictures showing you that what you think you see is not correct. There are thousands of studies that show you your senses will never be able to 100% guide you through life. There's evidence with numbers, and I know somehow numbers don't work for you. Yet you'll come out with an upload that using all these numbers. I watched a video from Indigo last night. It was a 45 second upload talking about light how light works in our atmosphere. And it was very clear that it was propaganda. Why? Here's why. He shows light, basically an old rustic diagram image, like out of like an old timely book, showing light rays traveling straight. Has a caption: light rays travel in a straight line. Then he runs completely off what he's even talking about and says something like, water, or if the laser shines over a 7-mile area, you wouldn't be able to see it. Globe debunked. Like, really? It's really clear that Indigo likes to go to these optic things. Those are his proofs. If you go to his channel, you watch what he uploads, listen to what he talks about. He likes to talk about optics. The problem with optics is that it's not a good representation of where we live. We know this for the same reason I know Chris's atmosphere is the reason why it doesn't work. You can't use your observation alone. Observations alone will give you mixed results. We know this why? Because we know there are atmospheric conditions. We know there are, which play into mirages, and I started looking into it. So like the scattering and the looming, and see, there's a lot to learn about this shit, and it's frustrating. But at least I'll understand it. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to know don't know jack shit about what we're talking about. But isn't it fun to not know and then a week later been busting your ass in the research and have a perfect understanding of how to explain it at least to somebody? I find it hard to believe that it took me 2 years to realize it. What I find even harder to believe than that is that people I know, I talk to, and will explain certain things, and for 3 weeks straight they'll ask me the same question as if never to have done it before. That doesn't make sense to me. Flat Earth wants to become the respectable theory now. Okay, be a respectable theory, but what are you showing to show that your theory is legitimate? Let's really break this down. Because if you walked into a laboratory, do you think Bendy Water is going to get you anywhere? Or chemo's sticky air? None of those things are tested to be even a term you should be using in trying to figure out if the Earth is a sphere or a flat. No one ever says bendy. Who says bendy water? You understand that nothing is bending water. Like that, those are the type of things that frustrate me. But it's here nor there. When it comes down to it, the realization is that it's whether or not you're either willing to admit you don't know and it's not a flat Earth, you just don't know, or go to the fully admittance of, hey, I'm a globe denier. Because this whole idea that people need to construct it's flat. No, don't put all your eggs in a basket. What if you're wrong? Then they'll turn it around. What if you're, well, you know what? If I'm wrong, at least, and this is personally for me, at least I know that I've looked at both sides objectively. You can't say I didn't. The problem is, and for all that are upset with me for doing it, I'm sorry, but I didn't have evidence. And I know you don't have evidence because most of you guys I've ran with you guys. We're in the same groups, we're in the same hangouts, same panels, same everything. The evidence you're presenting right now isn't even evidence. And I'm going to be quick to tell you that. I'll tell you right now, 90% of the shit ever said on my live stream by even people on my panel aren't isn't proof for a globe, but there's a damn bit of evidence that needs to be put forth to even be considered, and they're doing it. It's really not hard. And the one that I hear the biggest issue is gravity. Gravity is like the biggest issue to a flat earther. Problem one that I see. Once you become a flat earther, gravity is gone for good. Don't talk gravity. Why not? We need to figure out why shit falls the way it does. And then people like Slim or Slick, who wants to tell you stupid shit like, just take the G out. He's not upsetting me. He shouldn't upset Globers. He should be upsetting you guys, Flat Earth. Why? Because that isn't science. That's not logically trying to figure out where you live. Nor is it an honest way to try to figure out where you live. For all you guys that are triggered by Slick, don't talk to him. Slick, I doubt Slick is a flat earther. He's playing the part of a philosopher. That argument has nothing to do with flat earth. He can't use that argument because that argument will noid and void everything he's ever said about how you take the gravity out and it's fine. He's a joke. He's literally just a blimp in this big ass radar of what the fuck is going on. So Globe, don't talk to him. And if you're gonna talk to him, this is how the fucking conversation goes. The conversation will last 30 seconds. Tell him your experiences aren't accurate. How do you know if they are? Done. You can't. Conversation's over. Once he can't be accurate for his any of his experiences, he doesn't know if it's an experience. He doesn't know if it's a fucking dream. He don't know if it's a fucking dream and a belief of dreams. It's that simple. And once you figure that out, he doesn't bother you anymore. But I bring him up for one good reason. Now, he is playing with this argument of experience, right? Well, the way I see it, for instance, Chemo Spurs, he's playing an argument as well. It's an argument of stupidity, but it's an argument that he's playing a game with, that he uses just to get a rise out of all these ballers that will come around and talk to him. How do I know this? He doesn't bring evidence. He doesn't bring facts. He brings bullshit, like sticky air. The little things like that were the things that drove me away from the flat earth ideal. When I realized that it's a lot of talk, but no evidence. We can talk we're all blue in the face people. But how long are you going to say it is flat before you realize you have no reason to say it's flat? I give you can be a globe denier all you want. That's fine. That makes sense. That's perfectly fine. But at the same time, do not say you're a flat earther. No more. It shouldn't be said. There's no such thing as a flat earther. I was never a flat earther. Everyone that keeps saying, you were never a flat earther, or once you go flat, you never... No, I was never a flat earther. I was wrong as shit. You guys are too. But I give you this. You're doing a good job at denying the globe. The problem is that you're still using science's explanations for what's going on. How you doing, Brenda? Brenda, can you hear me? I think I see you. Yeah, I see you're talking, but I don't hear you. Yeah, and what was it? I think Timmy was saying earlier something about you may have to, if you can hear me, back out and refresh your page. I don't know what the hell. Timmy said something was going on with the Hangouts, but they've been acting funny. I do know my audio issue had nothing to do with it though, so can't blame it on that one. Yeah, but again, like I said, it's just it's ridiculous to me that it's not ridiculous that there are flat earthers or that someone even believes that it's flat earth. That's fine. But the ones that push so damn hard that they just everything they got, they're just push push push. They don't give a shit about anything else but just that narrative of it's flat. It has to be flat. Check mine.
It's better.
Yes, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if you're talking, I'll just listen.
No. I'll just do my little rant. Jump in if you want. No worries at all. Actually, it'd be a good time now. I know you like to talk about it. I just hate when you do it when there's a bunch of flat earthers. Well, I know for sure you would know what I'm talking about because you've been around you've been around as long as I have that I know of because since I've been here. The content creators that are pushing information. I'm not going to say they're all liars, just that they're pushing information. Do you think that's a bigger issue, or is it just people not willing to like even admit they're wrong? Which one would you say would be like the bigger worry?
Boy, I don't know. It can be so hard to tell.
Oh yeah. Oh well, it's because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Some of them I think believe, but for instance, Nathan, I know that Nathan is not a flat earther.
No,
He's
not
just
at all.
pretending.
Nope.
But some of the others, it's hard to tell.
And I feel the same way. The issue is that I actually had to add a third category when I left Flat Earth, and it was after I left Flat Earth that I realized it was this bad. It kind of goes along, well, kind of with the Mind of God, mainly with Debbie. Debbie's the one that made me realize this. Once you're stuck in a narrative, and it's God, it changes everything. I think I think we were here when I was talking about this before, Brenda. But once you believe once God is a factor of whether or not the shape is, it's no longer, the globe no longer is an option. It has to be flat because I mean, Debbie, I've talked to Debbie. She's not stupid at all. Like I've had fucking great conversations with Debbie with no acting retarded, acting dumb, not answering. Like she answered questions. I mean, she knows her shit. She's not stupid at all. I know she's playing a part when she's doing that shit. That irritating people shit.
So she's defending her faith.
Yes, and it's not it. It's just like I'm not sure if you met Slick. Just like Slick's argument, it's not an argument of winning. It's an argument to just be there, and if you let it happen, it will happen. Yeah, it's yeah. And I can see why people get frustrated. Shit. I mean, I don't know how many times we've gone back and forth, and I can see how it gets frustrating. I mean, that's how I know this whole idea that I have of you don't need to be disrespectful. It works because even at the times when me and you weren't cool, I mean, we yell. I mean, I remember shit. I've been triggered many times by you, but it was never.
I don't actually remember those times.
Well, it was like Dred's panel back in the day when, like, it was like just the regular group on his panel mostly. But this is probably why you don't remember because it never got personal. It was it was a fucking other argument. It was another globe versus flat Earth argument, but it never got personal. I don't ever feel the need to be personal with anybody. What's the fucking point? It's too easy. You know what I mean? You want to start digging at people, then that's easier than proving shit. I don't have to if I don't have to break down gravity and all I got to do is call you a dumbass, that's the easiest way in the world. But it doesn't work. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's a good point to make about that. Some people get really just fed up with the whole thing. Some of the Globers do, and they just kind of lose it.
Yeah, to them, I don't get that. Like I get someone can piss you off, but I mean the people that like at the said server, like there's some of those people like they go off on this tangent so many times. It's like haven't you had enough? Like, don't you not want to ever talk about the globe again? Yeah, it's pretty great. Hey, what's up, Gary? How you doing, sir? Sorry.
Some people will go off.
I'm sorry, Brenda.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We have plenty of time.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Oh, not much.
You been on Bro Sanchez's panel lately?
No, not lately. Well, he kind of switches back between two of his channels, and I think I'm blocked on one of his. I don't think he knows I'm blocked. I think Master P blocked me one time when I was in there, and I don't know if he knows. But if your moderators block somebody
you
in
have
the
to,
chat, then
you have to do it in your settings. Yeah. Because I didn't, like I said, I didn't think I'd want to in the beginning, but I'm itching for a debate, and I don't want just some Joe Schmo. I want someone that people hear.
Have you gone back on Dred's site?
No, but see, the thing is I'd be willing to debate Dreads, and I've even thought about messaging him and letting him know, hey, maybe we should debate. It'd be a good debate.
Good luck with that. When I first started talking to Dred and Bro Sanchez, I tried to set up a regular old setup moderated debate on a single topic, and they said they would, but of course they never did.
Yeah,
that's the hardest part is getting a flat earther to debate on a single topic.
But see, that's the thing.
It shouldn't be that hard, but it is.
But see, that's the thing, though. I think it'd be different with Dreads. I think just the camaraderie they have would keep it from being any kind of shady on either side, and I think that's why I'd want to with him, because I wouldn't have to worry about the muting. I wouldn't have to, I wouldn't have to worry about a shady moderator. Again, it's. I do have a loyalty to him, so that kind of does hold me back from it, because I get heated and I don't really like yelling at my friends, so that's only the reason I hold back from it. But I mean, if it was out there, I would. I'm definitely willing to debate D Marvel. I put that out there quite a few times, but I don't hear anything back from anybody. So either I'm too small of a channel, or they're a little worried. One of the two, but. Regardless, they don't message me back. Vegan Warrior messaged me back for a little bit, but then again, he's got more things going on with Russian vids and all that Bob crap.
No, well, what do they say? Argue amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't make sense. Like, people don't I don't understand how people don't see this and respond to it. Like, I know you guys probably noticed this. I mean, how many times is Fight the Flat Earth and Riley gonna fucking debate? It's like, you guys, it's pretty obvious. They got a little cycle of fucking debating and turns on channels and shit. And to me, it fucks up with the narrative, especially if I don't want them representing me as a globe. They're not the people I want representing me for information. I know when they debate, no one on the flat Earth side is giving a shit what a glober has to say because of the people saying it.
Well, the flat Earth. If you do bad in a flat Earth debate, the flat Earth kind of turn on you pretty quick.
Gary, you got to remember, man. I think. Well, we had a debate back in the day. And and that was when I first became, and I've looked back on that, and man, the shit we were both wrong on. Holy shit. You should watch that debate. But the reality of it was my arguments had nothing to do with the shape. And I realized that. I just wished other flat earthers would realize it too, because again, it's not bad. The things that I said to you.
I thought we debated on gravity though.
No, we pretty much went on everything from the ground to satellites. I think the last thing we ended at satellites when we were in that debate. I think we went through about 2 or 3 different topics. Plus that moderator, he was shit. He was irritating the crap out of me. So but that's always the factor to it. I think debates need to be one-on-one, no moderator. And if you can't, calm
It's
down or
hard
stop.
to say. Yeah, it's hard to say you have to do it on one-on-one because there has to be somebody in the middle to say that if this person stops it, both of us stop.
Well,
Right. Like I saw a so-called debate with Bro Sanchez where he was the moderator and the person in the conversation.
Yeah.
And he did his whole spiel. The person sit back, wait for him to do his thing. And as soon as the other person was supposed to present his, he immediately jumped in, paused them, said, "I ain't gonna let you lie to the people." It's like, no, this is my time. Like, you just had your 10 minutes. It's my 10 minutes. You can't come in and stop me from talking in my 10 minutes. But since he was the moderator, he could cut in. And I'm like, that's a bad look.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, it's that you're right, but and I hate saying this. Actually, I like saying it because it actually makes me realize that I didn't burn bridges. But there's realistically only 2 motherfuckers on this whole platform on YouTube capable of actually fairly moderating a debate. There's only 2 of us, me and Jose. Honestly,
I know a couple of people who moderated multiple debates. Brenda could probably name a couple. Just like I said, I was doing hangouts.
Like who?
I don't know if I could. I get excited.
I'm not even trying to boast about it. It's just the reality of it, man. I mean, when you look at how things are with both sides right now, there's no one that knows both sides like me and Jose. And I'm not saying me and Jose are we're top flat earthers, but I mean, we do know the arguments.
Right. But the best thing is to have someone who wouldn't say they have both sides in the first place. You would want somebody who just moderates. They just make sure their debate is fair and silence it when it gets off and try to keep it from going off on a tangent or any rabbit trails or red herring.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you definitely need one, but it needs to be fair. It doesn't even need to be me and Jose, but I'm sorry. Personally, to me, the non-sex show, they're as bad as it gets when it comes to not giving a fuck about who's there. They just want money. Period. That's all they are now.
Well, they seem to be fairly moderating debates, right?
No, I wouldn't say so.
They hardly interact at all, though. At least the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, they kind of sit back.
Okay.
But you don't know, like I've seen Shanna Rocky. She does pretty good moderated debates. Who else used to do really good debates? Maybe I don't know about soccer. He used to get kind of. Because
what I see when I watch the non-sex show and their debates is I'd say 90% of the show is very fair. They don't jump in, but it always gets to a point like if a debate starts slowing down, they jump in, and it's not jump in, but they add their 2 cents when they shouldn't be.
I've seen Baldy Engineer debate one before, and he did really good. And he would pause the timer and let somebody know, hey, you're supposed to be debating this, and you're kind of not debating this. And he gave him he's not telling him what to say, but he's letting him know that he's getting off the topic of the debate. That's what you're supposed to do.
Was Godless Engineer debating or moderating?
He's moderating.
Okay, no, he wasn't. Okay, so here's the thing. He was fine for the beginning of it, and then at the end, he literally started explaining things and calling him a moron. Like that shit did happen at the end. Like it's the same shit, same narrative.
Which debate are you talking about?
I don't remember who was debating. I just remember he was the moderator for it. I've never seen him debate before, but as a moderator, it's the same thing, man. Beginning
well, the other guy's a little bit more even-handed, isn't he?
Kyle.
No. Actually, I was gonna say I'd say Steve is more even than Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Kyle wants some. So this is so it is. It's not personal, but it irritated the shit out of me when I went on there to interview me after I left Flat Earth. The beginning was fine, and I've talked to Steve a million times. And Steve was talking to me like he normally does, and it got to a point where I guess maybe my story was boring to Kyle. But he instantly wanted to jump on, well, what other conspiracies do you believe in? Let's talk about that. And right then I realized it's not about They didn't want me on because I'm an ex-flat earther. They wanted me on because they wanted me to say some stupid, crazy, stupid shit. And
Yeah, they want views.
Well,
they want
well,
clicks.
Right, but they're also putting on a show. So once your story gets kind of stale, they want to make sure that the audience stays engaged. So they want to know if you had any other conspiracies you believed in.
I don't want to be part of a show. I want to be part of a live stream, a podcast. But I'm not, especially because I don't get paid for that show. And the better they make
Right.
it, the more they make. And that's the other thing. So I've already offered chemo Spurs this already. I don't get it yet, but once my super chat and all that shit comes on, I don't understand why they're not getting, like, a flat earther wouldn't be getting half, or if it's my channel and I'm debating, why wouldn't I give not the half the fucking super chats to the other person? When Chemo Spurs was over at fight, who is it? Wherever he was last. I think it was Fight the Flat Earth. He got all those super chats. All those super chats came in because of Spurs. That Spurs didn't get shit. And it's not part of the agreement. It's not like he was owed it or nothing. But I don't see why that's not happening. It would take away this whole, they're doing it for money. They're doing it for the money. Why not everyone get money if that's the case?
Well, I mean, or you can do it like Godless did and just run a dual stream. You stream it on your channel, they can stream it on theirs. You put their name in the title, and you can put your name in the title. And then whatever super chats come in from your side is yours.
Yeah, that would work. I don't know how to do that.
The only thing I could see a problem with that is that, for instance, and these are the best narratives examples I can give you. So, like, when Bro Sanchez would go and debate one of those other guys, I don't fucking remember the name. Fucking the pimple dude with the big ass pimple on his head. I don't fucking remember his name. When that happened.
Oh, you're talking about when he used to do the conscious community, like
yeah. Well, he was debating flat Earth, but with them.
Yeah.
What would happen is he would dual stream it, but either side wants to come over and start talking shit. So they all end up on one side anyway. The problem is it's always lopsided. So sometimes
that's what I'm saying. Last night, the Non-Sex did a show with Godless Engineer. It was dual streamed on Non-Sex and on Godless Engineer's channel. I know because I'm subscribed to both of them. Godless Engineer had about 166 viewers, and Non-Sex had about 250 or so.
That sounds low.
Huh?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Well, you have to remember the audience would have been split. So some of them were on Godless's Engineer's channel, and some of them were on Non-Sex channel. But if you do it all together, they're streaming about right at about 500 people. But it's split between each channel.
If it works, I guess. I don't see it. I didn't see it work when it was happening, but then again, things are different from when I was.
I would think that Non-Sec would have more live viewers than that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they're close to the 6-7 range average.
Well, I mean, I might have been watching earlier because I watched kind of towards the beginning. I don't know what the final number.
It does build up too. It's not a quick. It's not everyone's not there when it starts.
Yeah, I was watching kind of early, and just like I said, Godless Engineer had about 166 viewers, and Non-Sex had about 250, I'd say.
So, got everyone in the chat. Just to remind you, I can see the chat. It's in my peripheral view. So if you want to get on the panel, and I hadn't put the link out in a while, just tag me, and I'll see my name get tagged. So I'll be able to look at the chat because I'm not always reading it. But if you tag me, I'll see it. And then that way I don't have to it doesn't take so long for me to see that you're looking for the link. Yeah, it's definitely different from when I first came around with the structure of these things. But the one thing I remember is that no one wanted to watch the same debate over and over and over again. And that's what we're seeing now. Worst off is and some people, I know a lot of people are fans of that group, but I'm sorry, their version of moron this and dumbass that, it's really pathetic to me. I don't even want to watch them. And
yeah, I remember, what was that, about 6-7 months ago, Aaron Raw was trying to debate a flat earther, and he talked to about 3 or 4 of them, and then he just realized that flat earthers don't kind of have anything to debate. So he just stopped looking.
Okay. See, it always seemed easy to find a debate when I was a flat earther.
No, well, he was looking for a specific debate. He was hoping to find a flat earther who had some kind of science background or technical information to bring to the table.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're the fucking one who even brought me over there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm happy as shit I didn't debate fucking Aaron Raw. I mean, real shit. Like, that guy's creepy.
He was looking. He was really looking because he wanted to know what flat earthers had to bring to the table. And he talked to Jaron. He talked to a bunch of them. But at the end of the day, if you don't have nothing to debate with, I mean, there's no reason to debate.
I told Steve right off the bat, man, I am not the one. Like, that's the worst part when people are like, people are like, well, what are you gonna do with all your live streams you did? You're gonna delete them, right? I'm like, the fuck? I'm not deleting those. Why would I delete them? Well, you're not a flat earther anymore. Well, one, I don't regret my time. Two, it wasn't like, I don't think I had one live stream where it was just like, flat earth proof. This is how I know. Like, these people, I've always spread the same fucking message, man. This is much bigger than that shit.
No, I mean, let me see who, I don't really talk that much flat earth. I mean, just like you say, the topic kind of went stale without you having actually a two-sided conversation. I've been talking to a lot of, sovereign citizens and free energy people.
Yeah, I ran into, I don't know what you call them. Like, there's like there's a server where I know for a fact the owners of the server and a lot of people there are really smart and they run good debates, but there's a handful of dumbass little kids in there. And I wouldn't even call them trolls. They're just stupid. Like, I talked to, like, we were talking about the wall. Everyone loves talking about that, and I'm trying to explain to them. Okay, here's the scenario. I live in San Diego for one, and yes, that does mean something because I can literally drive 10 minutes and see any progress of a wall that I want. And the realization is that they're not going to put a full wall up along the whole border, which means they will always have a way to just get in. Here's the other problem. More are here because of expired visas than hop the border. Which one needs to be fixed? And the kid was like, why don't they just shoot all the drug dealers? I'm like, what? And I thought he was trolling. I'm like, you're trolling, right? You're fucking trolling me. And he's like, no, I'm not trolling. And I'm like, how the fuck are they supposed to know who's a drug dealer and who's not? Well, they'll have backpacks on. Did you hear yourself? And they're serious. So I had to leave. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't have an argument with fucking a kid that's like, bomb them all. Really?
It's just like I tell most people who get in trouble. I tell them, look, they don't really want to throw you in jail. They rather you be on probation and you're paying probation fees for years than you be in jail because it costs money for you to be in jail. If they put you out on probation and you not sell drugs or you go get a job, now you're paying them just to be walking around.
Yeah. Huh? Exactly. Yeah. It all contradicts. Like, one of the guys was like, well, and here's my thing. When you were talking about this wall, and we're talking about, well, what's the solution to immigration? To me, it's everything. Like, we need to put money into all of it to fix anything. But is it wrong of me to think that the real fix is Mexico's economy? Like, isn't that like the real fix? Like, helping them or forcing them to be better at? I don't know, but that's
the problem is there's no money in immigration, right?
There's no money in what?
There's no money in immigration. Nobody makes money off of immigrants, right? For you to come to this country and live and work, nobody makes money off of that. I mean, you can come in, become helpful to society or whatever, but there's no money in immigrants, really.
No, yeah,
there's money maybe in illegal immigrants if you want somebody to do some cheap-ass free labor, but, I mean, how many people want to do that?
Well, that $10,000 fine isn't worth it. I know that.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if there was money in illegals being over here, then that would be something else. But right now, since there's just no money in it. So.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I see why now. But I'm right in the assessment that they're not they're not more hopping a wall, so to speak, than are here on expired visas, right? Like that's the majority.
Right. Now there's money in visas, but they're not really doing anything to keep people from getting visas or staying. They're trying to make it so that they can't stay longer, so they have to keep paying money to stay in
To
the
get
country.
more, yeah.
Yeah,
Visas
there's
are
money
good.
there.
Visa means they know they're there, they know they're working, and they know they're going to get their money. They want to put visas out.
Right.
It's crazy
They
because
want more people to come in here with visas. That's where the money is, right?
mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And then I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they were talking about immigration, and it's crazy because different countries. So, or better preface it under like the fear for your life, whatever that one is, where if you fear for your life, your country or something, they'll let you in your country. Yes, thank you. They were saying that different countries have different laws with other countries, like for instance, Canada and us. Like you're more likely to be like if you live in Canada, you have to get permission to come live in the United States. You're more likely to get permission than if you come from Mexico. Well, they were saying that they give out they put up I think it was like 50,000 visa passes or I don't even know what to call them, but they allow, for instance, Sweden. You have like a 98% chance of being allowed in. It's crazy. Like different place. Like if you're from one place or another, that's based on your chances of becoming an American citizen.
Right.
I didn't think it was real like that. That's crazy.
Well, it's probably, who knows how they have the rating system, but something set up.
The guy explained it as like an ethnic equalization, but like he was joking about it though. But that is what it seems like. It's like, we don't have enough of that ethnicity here. We're gonna let them in for a little while. No, close that gate up. We don't need them. That's kind of how it looked. It was weird. But I do see Seek and Find in the chat. Seek and Find, I would love for you to jump on this panel. We can do the gravity thing again. I don't care, man. I'll go over gravity with him till I'm blue in the face. If there's one thing I'm going to get through his head, is that gravity is fucking real. Period. Just the realization of, I'm sorry, there's just things that don't need that much evidence to even be shown to your face. And in the conversation he had over on Jose's really made me realize another thing. There's a few things I could say differently that would make, a lot of things simpler. Like talking about his flat water, like just the way they broke it down on the panel about, flat. Like I know the whole, flat and level, but flat doesn't always mean. I know all that. But it's what got me into looking into like the fractions and the looming and all that crap. And the one thing I realized right away is that in every description of some type of atmospheric condition, like all these things, none of them have like consistent observations. It's not like when you see this is happening. And that right off the bat just means you can't use that as evidence.
Right. Yeah, I guess that would be kind of like the one you were saying where all the different evidences for a flat Earth, they're all different and require different explanations. For the globe Earth, they all have the same explanation and they're grounded in each other, right?
Yeah, it's and you can't say that that's enough. That's not that's not even evidence that stat. But at the same time, at what point do you go, man, all these lies work? like if even if you want to say they're lies, and you're convinced they're lies. If they work, are they lies? And that's just the realization of it. I mean, otherwise, I'll stop. I'll tell everyone right now. If every flat earther stops saying they're a flat earther and say they're a globe denier, I'll stop talking about flat Earth completely. Period. I'll be happy as shit. I'll be so fucking happy.
Mm.
I know it sucks. None of you guys understand. You don't. They have to change a whole label. There's motherfuckers with flat Earth tattoos. They're gonna be pissed. They're lifers.
Yeah, well, did anything else, like when you just moved away from flat Earth, did that change your ideas about anything else? Like, I remember, didn't you believe in kind of free energy too at one point?
No. The first time I ever heard of free energy and I looked into it, I realized just the engineering aspect of the machining of it means it's not going to be free energy. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because like I got one of the back chats we're in, there's a guy who he keeps showing me his free energy devices, and no matter what I keep telling him, he just keeps ignoring it. The first one he showed me is supposedly run forever, and he changed his design, and now instead of it running forever, it uses a little bit of energy, if I'm not mistaken, a 9-volt battery that pulls energy out of the ether. So I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a YouTube channel, and the guy all his titles, every single one is perpetual engine machine or perpetual motion machine, and it was like a battery and like a cable or a rubber band, and I'm like, I don't even want to like type in his chat that it's all wrong. That's how bad it was.
Well, the bad part is the first perpetual motion machine he showed me, I told him it wasn't going to work. And then I started telling him that his idea wasn't original, so I started showing him other perpetual motion machines. And I'm pretty sure the new device he has is a design from a perpetual motion machine I showed him. Well, it's not even a perpetual motion machine. It's a really efficient motor, but it's not a perpetual motion machine. And somehow he said it is a perpetual motion machine and that it's pulling energy out of the ether. And I was like, what? Like, what are you calling the ether? He's like, you know what the ether is. I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, what are you calling the ether? I know what it's supposed to be.
That's funny because I don't have a damn clue. I've never known what ether is. I've heard explanations for it. It doesn't I don't grasp it because as far as I knew, ether always just was matter. Something.
It's supposed to be a medium that light needed to propagate in order to move.
Okay, so then when I learned that there is no absolute zero in space, that would mean to me that there's matter everywhere. So how can you have that was what that's what confused the crap out of me about it. It's just when you think about how things are said, and it confuses people, which is probably another factor of it. But it's.
Well, wouldn't that ruin the whole frictionless motion thing?
See, there you go.
If there was matter everywhere.
But there is no such thing as zero, but that doesn't mean that 0.00 million zeros and 1 is going to even do enough to say tear up a ISS, so to speak. That doesn't mean that the pressure is that exact there, but that's what I mean. That's why the ISS doesn't tear up. That's why it's able to even do what it does.
Right. Yeah. So the frictionless thing usually just means low friction, because I don't think anything would violate the second law of thermodynamics that way. You always have entropy.
Yes. Wait. Oh. Wait. Actually, so you can find. I know you're on kind of a times crunch, so I mean, if you wanted to bring anything in, but Gary, before you leave, I definitely wanted to ask you about the findings they found for absolute zero in thermodynamics, because I know you kind of have a good idea about it, and I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to let Seek and Find take the floor because he said he's in and out today.
Yeah, if you're talking about
I'm good. I mean, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, if you're talking about absolute zero, that's going to go towards the third law of thermodynamics. And unless you're talking about it's like it's not moving or there's no motion or any kind of energy, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll do what you're talking about. But Seek and Find, you wanted to. How you doing, Bob?
Hey, man.
So you can find. Did you want to jump in? Because I know you said you're in and out. You may be at a out time right now, so if that's the case, we'll continue on.
All good, man. Go ahead. Don't mind me.
Okay, yeah. Well, since I know you're busy right now, but if you want to jump in, just let me know. I'll give you the floor. One thing I wanted to talk about. So, the main thing I wanted to talk about, like, is the people that don't understand this whole. And Seek and Find, this is actually from you, man. This whole flat and level, yet you can have flat and it not be level. Like, I is that?
I understand that. I completely understand that.
Okay. So then the whole idea of can you have level?
But when
you have level on a ball thing, that's not like an issue anymore, right?
Yeah, when you talk about something curving and level is where I have a problem.
But
okay, but if it's curving and it's equal on both sides, wouldn't it be level? Because
level to what though? Level to what?
Well, it's equidistant on both sides, right?
You're saying like just for visual representation, like a rainbow, like a rainbow.
Look, when you look at it. Yeah, when you look at a tire on a car, it's level. Each side is equidistant all the way around. You understand that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's a gas inside of a container.
No,
we're talking about water. Hold on, Gary. Hold on, because maybe you haven't heard me go through my little soliloquy about water. But what I talk about is water and its behavior, and it's showing the effects when a force is applied to it. Now, if you're going to claim that gravity is a force, albeit a constant force, it's got to be having an effect on the water. And my only question is, what is it doing? Okay, y'all say that it's making it level, and then that's when I say, my understanding of level, I guess isn't y'all. So, go ahead.
Okay, do you get how the gravity pulls at 90 degrees to everybody's? Like you get that part?
Equidistant to the center of the earth is what.
Okay,
yeah.
So and that's everywhere. Like if you move an inch, right?
I understand the claim, yes.
Okay, well that claim is observable by the fact that water finds its level, like you say. No one argues that, but it does it on a very large scale, like Earth.
Okay, so like I said, level and flat are synonymous. Level and curve to me, like he gave the tire representation, which that's moving the goalpost because that's gas inside of a container, and gas doesn't act the same way as water does. So I'm talking about the water. I'm talking about water and its behavior and us using it. Hold on, Sean, because we use water as a leveling tool. You can't tell me that the water doesn't find its level and be horizontal or flat on the top, on the surface of it. Now, if you're going to argue that we're on a ball, it has to be curving at some rate, at some clip on the surface of the water.
It is.
So
yeah. I don't think you understood my argument. I don't care if it's a flat tire. There's no area at all. It's still equidistant all the way around.
Okay.
Seek and Find. Do you know what a tangent line is?
Somebody got some static. I don't know who it is.
That might be me. Hold on.
Seek and Find. Can you tell me what a tangent line is?
What I believe it, I don't really know per se, but what I believe it is. All right,
why don't you go look it up real quick and tell me what a tangent line is?
See, Bob, you don't have to come in here being condescending, man. Because if you are, I'm going to just leave. I'm not going to stick around.
That's fine.
If you're going to be condescending, have this condescending, attitude, then I'm going to.
Are you going to answer the question? Do you know what a tangent line is?
So, like, if I was making an observation, a tangent line running from, like, say, like my eye level out to like the horizon, you could call that a tangent line.
Doesn't have anything to do with a tangent line. What is a tangent line?
All right, hold on, guys.
All right, so for people that don't know, you want to go ahead and explain the tangent line just in general, because he's I don't know if he's going to be back or not because he's watching his kid.
Yeah, that's not a problem, and I'm not being aggressive with him at all. I just ask him a simple question: what is a tangent line? A tangent line is a perpendicular line to the radius of a circle where it touches the circle. So it is 90 degrees, it touches the circle, and it is 90 degrees in both directions to the radius of that circle. That's level.
Thank you, sir.
It's just pretty simple definition.
Yep.
That's all it is.
I was trying to do a diagram in the time that you explained it, but you explained it a lot faster than I could do the diagram. It's just, like you said, it's simple.
If you draw a radius of a circle, where that radius touches the edge of the circle, if you draw a line 90 degrees to that radius in both directions, that is a tangent line.
Yes.
And the tangent line is what is level.
Yes.
See, my biggest issue is Seek and Find's been told this like 40,000 times. I don't know why he's still asking.
So you're saying basically, Bob, you're trying to say that the whole thing, like when what's his name, Sean, he brought out the level and put the level on top of a ball. Is that what you're trying to say? That you can have a level, you could sit a level on top of a ball?
Well, in order for the level to work on a ball, you have to draw the radius line in line with the radius of the Earth at that time. Okay? And then if you put a level 90 degrees to that line, yes, the bubble will be in the middle and it'll be level.
Okay, and as soon as you move that level around that sphere, is it going to stay level?
No, not on a basketball now.
Okay, so, all right.
All right, why doesn't it stay level on a basketball?
A sphere is equidistant all around 360 degrees, so no matter how big it is, the same thing happens, man.
Hang on,
So
man.
you're going to tell me that there's flat spots on the ball.
Hang on, man. All right. Tell me why, if you move the level around the basketball, why that doesn't stay level. What is the force that's acting on that level? Is it the force from the basketball, or is it the force from the Earth?
I'm sure there's probably a couple forces going on. I mean, you're moving the level, and there's air pressure and stuff around it, you know.
All right. Air pressure has nothing to do with it.
Why not?
Because we've already shown that 12 times. All right. I mean, I've already demonstrated that with an iPhone many times. Do I need to do it again?
Oh my gosh.
Would you like me to do it with the iPhone again?
I'm not going to be on here long, Sean. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to be here long.
All right.
Talking to Bob. I just want to have a conversation, a discussion, not just talk down to me type.
The problem is we've had this discussion like 12 times.
All right, well, change the subject.
Why is it?
Change the subject.
Go right ahead.
Because you know, water and level and horizontal and flat are all synonymous. There's no curve nowhere in, you know.
Wait, hang on. Okay, so you see the picture, right? I need you to understand. Look, it's very easy. So, look, see this right here? If that was a spirit level, that's level on a ball. You understand that, right? Right, you get it? That makes sense?
Yeah, that's what I just said Sean did the other day, yeah.
Okay, now, this right here, doing this to it, hang on 1 second. Doing this to it, does not change anything, see? You know what it means? It means now it's flat, but not level.
Okay, so, and now we're talking about water, right? Now, if water was naturally on this ball, first off, it would run to the bottom of it. Do y'all agree with that?
No, because everything is
not even remotely.
Gravity accelerates everything to the center, which means there is no like you're looking at right now.
If this was
what you're looking at right now.
I think y'all thinking about it differently than what I'm explaining.
No, hang on.
If this was a basketball, you poured some water on it, it would run to the bottom of it, right?
If that basketball
that's what the water naturally would do. Right?
Yes, it would. You're correct.
Okay, so that's one thing that the water would naturally do without any forces applied to it. It would naturally do that.
There is a force applied to it.
Okay.
There is a force applied to it.
What is that?
The Earth. It's a
Gravity.
basketball on the Earth. There is a constant downward acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. That's a law. It's not in question. All right. It's not open to debate. There is a universal downward 9.81 meter per second square acceleration measurable at every location on the Earth.
And
Yeah, see,
Now-
we also both agree that that force is making the water level. I think we just have a disagreement about what level it is.
wait,
And it can
No,
level
no,
have
we
curve.
don't have a
Can
disagreement.
it be a level curve with water and the behavior of it? And we don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't, or I don't. I don't know what y'all experience or see, but I don't see that. So
That's because you don't look at it. All right.
I work on the water. You can't tell me I work on the
okay.
water.
No, that doesn't. That's
Then you
not
should
enough.
know
That's
that.
not- hey, that's not. That's actually not enough to be proof. And that's actually the thing that you should. I don't get how you say you work on water and that's your evidence. The problem with what you're saying is I don't think you like when you're you see the picture on the screen right now, right? That I have that little circle. Imagine it's a sphere, okay? I know you're gonna say it looks like a plate, but imagine it's a sphere. Now, if I'm standing right here on that sphere, can you see my cursor?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. You understand that to the center, the gravity is I'm all tongue tied. The whole 90-degree thing. Someone explain that, please, because I'm tongue tied. But every spot you are, that 90 degrees, that straight, that to the center, the gravity thing, it's everywhere. Everywhere. No matter where I move it, wherever that spot is on that cursor, it's doing it. So for you to say that it doesn't make sense on a ball is you saying you don't understand how gravity works. If you understand how gravity works, then that idea that it should fall off the bottom of it wouldn't be in your mind.
Can you explain how gravity works in the ball model? Do you understand how it works in the ball model? You may disagree with it, but would you please explain to us how it's supposed to work in the ball model?
Yeah, gravity pulls to the center of the Earth equidistantly all around it.
And
Supposedly.
on the ball model, what direction would be the center of the Earth at the South Pole?
What direction? Down.
And
On the
at the
South
North
Pole?
Pole, it would be straight. If you're standing
Towards
on
the
the
center,
South
yeah.
Pole, the center would be in a ray that starts at your head and ends at your and goes through your big toe straight to the center of the Earth, right?
Okay.
All right. What would level be right there? And the best way to do it is hold your arms straight out, like on the Titanic. That would be roughly level, right? You could hold a level right in front of you and center the bubble, and it would go left and right, correct?
What? Oh, yeah. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
On a ball, if you stand anywhere on the ball, will that level not be going straight right and left on the line going from your nose to your toes? Would it not be 90 degrees to that line?
I think you're gonna have to pull up the paint again, Sean, man, because he going off on some stuff that
No, I'm explaining it to you very clearly and very simply. We've already
why are you
agreed that at
taking
the
the
South
conversation
Pole.
away from like the water then? What is the water doing? Is it curving on the top?
All
Is
right.
it curving? Is it curving
No,
on the top, or is it
we're
flat?
trying to understand gravity. Okay.
Let me ask you this real quick, so you can find. Does water conform?
Yes.
So if gravity works as described, would water not conform?
It would, but it would show a behavior is what I'm getting at.
What
What's the
behavior?
behavior? I just want to know what the behavior is. If there's a force acting on it, it's showing an effect or a behavior. What is it?
What behavior would you expect on a ball Earth, given gravity? Tell us what you
would I
would
expect?
Yes.
I would expect it to be curved on the top. That's what I would expect.
Very
To be
good.
curved on the surface of like
Okay.
big bodies of water. That's what I would expect. What would you expect?
Okay. Exactly the same thing.
Okay. Do you experience that?
Yes.
I don't. That's where we have a.
All right. So you work on the water. Is that open water or like on canals and stuff?
No, it's on the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, so it's on the Gulf of Mexico. Do you work like on an oil rig or something?
No, I work at a fish market, but I'm on the boat all the time. I'm on.
Okay,
boat.
so you're on the boat all the time. How far offshore do you go?
The first I've been probably about 10 miles offshore.
10 miles. Okay.
Yeah, not too far.
Can you see your dock from 10 miles?
No.
Okay. What happens when you get closer? How close do you have to be before you see your dock?
Do you want to talk? You want to talk about perspective? I understand.
No, I want to talk about how far do you have to be before you can see your dock?
It's probably about 3 miles.
Okay. So now if you can't see it at 10 miles, but you can see it at 3 miles, that would go along with being a curved surface, would it not?
No, not to me.
All right. On a curved surface, would you expect to see something exactly like that? I'm not saying that's what's causing it, but on a curved surface, would you expect to see something like that?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. So, on a curved surface, you expect to see something like that. On the
I
Earth,
expect to see curves on a curved surface. I expect to see curve on a curved surface.
That is a curve. It's a curve away from you.
But I don't experience.
No. We've already gotten past that. You've already agreed that if you were on a curved surface, you would see that. Now, what that doesn't confirm that the surface is curved, right? But on a curved surface, that is exactly what you would see, would it not? It's a yes or no.
I already conceded that point. Go ahead, man.
Okay, great. So you have something that you have observed that agrees with a curved surface. Do you have another explanation for it?
Sure.
Okay.
And limitations of your eyeballs.
Okay, and how would that work?
Atmospheric effects.
And how would that work? Start with perspective. Tell me how perspective would work with that.
Yeah, so things like below your feet, like let's say in this case water, over distance appear to ramp up to eye level.
Okay, but you know that the horizon doesn't come to eye level, right?
Huh? Sorry?
But you know the horizon does not come to eye level, right?
I said it appears to rise to your eye. This is an effect of perspective is what I'm talking about.
I understand that, but if you actually put a level out, you will see, and you're at 10,000 feet or something.
Yeah, but you're not even letting me get through my...
But
I asked me a question, now you're asking me another question.
I want you to understand that you know that the horizon does not rise to eye level. It appears to,
oh my God.
But you know it doesn't, though.
I'm not making that point, though, Sean. Like, he's trying to bring me there. And that's not the point that I said. I never said that cliche statement of the horizon always rises to eye level. I didn't say that, man. He's trying to bring me there.
Okay.
It's annoying.
I didn't hear you, but I was going
to. I'm merely talking about perspective. Like if I had a white sheet of paper and I drew that X on it.
All right.
Okay.
Perspective.
Tell me how.
Well, that's good.
Tell me how the dock is not there at 10 miles, but is there at 3 miles, and tell me how perspective does that.
I was trying to cut me off.
I could say it's kind of hard to do that without a visual. But I have a
if you want to bring up any any image that's supposed to be showing curve, I'll dissect it for you if you want me to.
You're looking at it. That image you see that I'm sharing right now.
Oh, I was talking about a real image.
No.
But
explain that. That's curve.
What do you want me to explain, John? What am I explaining?
Is that curve or is that flat?
The dotted line looks flat. The black below it, I guess, is supposed to be curving. Is that what you're asking?
Well, it's not curving evenly, so it's not what you describe it we should see, but that looks like a flat line to me. I mean, can you tell me how how much curve is there?
Which line are you talking about?
I'm talking about the big dark black line.
Okay, what about it?
It looks flat.
The black line doesn't look flat.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't look like it'd be doesn't look like a ball.
Okay, make your point, Sean. Because if you're standing on top of that ball, as slight as that curve is or whatever, if you start rising, you're gonna see it drop away like a lot.
Do you know how big you are? Do you know how big you are?
Yeah, the Earth's so big. I know.
Yeah. Do you know how big you are compared to the scale of where I'm at right now? Just right now, like you're still not like one of those little dots aren't even as big as we are. You comprehend that, right?
I got about 10 minutes, fellas.
Okay.
10 minutes.
One of those little dots above that black line, one of those dots
Sure, yeah.
does not even depict how big we are.
Of course.
Okay. So, and if you, let's just say you were one of those little black dots, you're telling me you're going to be able to pick up all the curve that this ball has. No.
No, I'm not saying that. Of course not.
Okay. Well, then that's why we're saying you're not going to see a curve like
So-
you think you'll see a curve. Hang on. And there's no reason to not realize that an ocean fits just fine in our model. Because look.
Okay, so hold on, Sean. Hold on, let me stop you there. So would you say that you experience the Earth flat then if you don't experience the curve?
Your observation and your immediate vision is
Yes.
it does appear flat, yes. But that has nothing to do. Remember, I gave you the number. It was like 0.0000003 something percent is actually what you're able to even possibly be able to see.
So was
All
that
right.
a yes, you do experience the Earth flat?
I did not say I experienced Earth flat. I say I experienced my immediate vision.
Well, you can't have it both ways, but I'm saying
No, I
I'll
can't.
say the
Stop.
horizon is
Stop.
flat.
You don't experience the Earth
see,
flat.
fine. Why can't I? You just told me I can't have it both ways. So when have you
Yeah,
ever?
you're saying
when have
we're
you
too small to experience the curve,
Yes.
but you don't experience the Earth flat. So which one is
Okay,
it?
again, I'll try to be clear because I thought I was. One, you will never be able to comprehend how big the Earth is just in your peripheral view. Why? Because no human can see that much, right? That looks flat, but you don't see shit compared to how much Earth there is. So you're not going to see very much curve. If you know where you're looking for AE the horizon, then you know where the curve is. But if you didn't know about a horizon and you were in a bunch of uneven mountains, it wouldn't make a difference in the world where that horizon is. Right? You got
Okay.
it? It's still gonna look.
Hey,
flat.
Sean.
I mean, y'all know the point I'm trying to make. If you're going to
No,
level
no,
anything in your
we're
life,
not.
you're not going to use a curved line. That's my
Hey,
point.
Sean.
Yes, sir.
Sean?
Yes, sir.
Let's finish up with what he was talking about. We have acknowledged that he cannot see his dock from 10 miles out, but he can see it from 3 miles out.
Yes.
He has acknowledged that that would be what you would expect on a curved surface. Now, we're also looking for other possibilities that would cause the same effect. And he said perspective. So I would like to hear how he explains that with perspective.
I was trying to earlier, Bob. You
Go right ahead, man. Please, go right ahead. I want to hear it.
Okay, so like when you're making an observation, say over water, right? The water is beneath your feet. If I'm making that observation, the water appears to be at my eye level. It ramps up and appears to be at my. Would you agree that that is a function of perspective?
Perspective, yes.
Okay, so things that are beneath my feet appear to ramp up and meet me at eye level. That is a function of perspective.
At the vanishing point, yes.
Okay, so that's one thing you got going on. But
Okay,
that's just
where's
one
the
thing.
vanishing point
There's other-
relative to the dock?
Okay.
No,
Go ahead.
finish
Go
that.
ahead, Bob.
Where is the vanishing point relative to the dock when you're looking out at 10 miles? Is it before the dock, or after the dock? Knowing that the vanishing point is infinite distance away.
Bob, there's other effects. I wasn't done.
Well, no, let's finish that one first. So you said vanishing point. And things
Give me a
rising
second.
from
Give me a
your
second.
feet to the vanishing point.
Sorry, Bob. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So would you agree that the dock is between you and the vanishing point at 10 miles?
Sorry, my son is distracting me. You said the dock is. Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Would you agree that the dock is between you and the vanishing point if it's 10 miles away?
The dock is between me and the vanishing point. You're saying the vanishing point is how far away?
It's an infinite distance away. But I want to confirm with you that the vanishing point is past the dock, even at 10 miles.
Okay.
Do you agree?
You say the vanishing point. You saying that we can see for how far?
I'm saying by definition, in perspective, the vanishing point is at an infinite distance.
Well, see, I don't know about that. I don't really know about that because I
If
think
you
that
want-
we have limitations to how far we can see. Like I can't
But
see.
please, on perspective, if you want to, go ahead and look it up real quick. You will see that the vanishing point is considered at infinite distance.
Okay.
Just double check it.
Okay.
You know, I'm not trying to fool you here. I'm not
Okay.
trying
No,
to
no,
play games with
I
you.
don't believe you are. Good. So you were making a point again. You said
Yes.
that the dock would be in between me and the vanishing point. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your point?
Why can't you see it?
I told you
It hasn't reached, but it hasn't reached the vanishing point yet. It's between you and the vanishing point. You should be able to see the whole thing.
Why would
Nothing's
you
been
think
cut.
that? Why would you think that?
Well, let's see. If you go out and look at a sidewalk and follow it all the way to the end with your eye, okay?
Yeah.
And you put an object on that sidewalk anywhere between that, you know, the end of the block there and you, will you be able to see it?
Well, the bottom of the thing is going to start disappearing first before it starts vanishing.
Well, no,
turning into a small dot. Yes, as
I'm
a
asking
function of perspective. You asked me a question, I'm answering.
The ground that's on your feet are on, and there's a vanishing point out ahead of you. Let's say you're on a sidewalk and and the end of the sidewalk is a block away. If you put a roller skate anywhere on that sidewalk between you and the vanishing point, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the dock is between
Not
on
anywhere,
the ground,
not anywhere. I wouldn't say anywhere. If it's in your field of view and it's close to you, you can see it. But if you start moving it away, it's going to start disappearing bottom up. Even if the sidewalk is flat, it's going to start disappearing bottom up as a function of perspective because the ground
we're explaining
appears to
real
ramp up and come
perspective
to eye
here.
level. Huh?
We're talking about real perspective here. If
Yeah,
the
this is real
vanishing
perspective.
point is at the end of the block and you put an object on that sidewalk between you and that vanishing point, you will see the object. Do you agree?
Depends on how far the object is away from you.
1 block.
1 block, yeah, I could probably see it.
Great. Because it is
Not
on
the whole thing, though,
surface.
probably.
It's on the surface of the ground, on the sidewalk, and it is before the vanishing point where it reaches eye level or rises or appears to reach eye level or whatever you want to say. You are actually looking down at it, are you not?
1 block away, Bob?
Yeah. You would actually be looking slightly downward, wouldn't you? Because the ground is
Yeah,
below
but if
your
you
eyes.
if you kept moving it block after block, it would appear to rise up more.
Okay. If that roller skate was between you and the vanishing point as it went out, would you continue to be looking down at it and still see it?
It would start to disappear bottom up.
Okay, explain to me how that will work because you're looking down at it. So how would the bottom?
How am I looking down at it? So like, let's take it to a boat and the horizon and it going away. I mean, this is what you're trying to explain. Let's just use a boat as the water appears to ramp up, right?
All right, but
The boat is
water
traveling
itself
over the
is
horizon,
actually,
which is not. It is not the curvature of the Earth. It is just an apparent horizon. It is it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like the horizon
What
is
is
just
it
a
then?
line that it's an apparent horizon. It's there because you have limitations.
all right.
You have
And
limitations
what are
to your-
those limitations?
Well, one of the things that definitely limits how far you can see something is the atmosphere, man. You can't see. Now, if you were say you sucked all that atmosphere out and there was a vacuum, then you could probably this will put this stuff to bed. You know, we will be able to see probably a lot further if we didn't have the atmospheric effects. But guess
Okay.
what we do? So you can't see. So you have the floor ramping up to your eye level, plus you have atmospheric effects creating a horizon, an apparent horizon. That things
right.
seem like they're going over, but they're not.
All
Can I
right,
just say something real quick?
go right ahead.
I gotta go soon here shortly, guys. Go ahead, Gorge, but I gotta go shortly. I'm not running.
No.
got
Hey,
stuff to take care of,
don't explain yourself. You don't have to, dog. You got
Got
family
obligations,
shit
man.
going on. That's more important.
Right.
No worries on that. No worries on that at all.
So for things further in the distance, longer wavelengths of light are less affected by the atmosphere, such as infrared. So if you use an infrared camera, it will not get affected by the atmosphere as much. So you'll be able to see further.
Well, since he brought up infrared, did you ever see the infrared picture of Mount San Jacinto from Malibu? It's 123 miles.
I did.
Would you agree that we can see at least 123 miles through the atmosphere at sea level?
Yeah.
Okay. The dock's 10 miles away. Why can't we see it?
That's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
Or even better question is all that damn mountain that's missing.
Well, let's not stress him too much about asking about the 6,000 feet of missing mountain, but the mountain's 123 miles away through the same atmosphere that you're looking at your dock with. Why can you see the mountain and not the dock?
I guess I want to ask Bob, why does the water, right, appear to ramp up to my eye level? Why does it do that? It's because, okay, so it's not because we're on the ball.
No.
Okay. I just have people tell me it's because we're on the ball. So right.
No, the horizon's because we're on a ball.
So
the horizon is below our eye level.
So there's a thing called perspective, and things do disappear because of perspective.
No, I didn't say they disappeared because of perspective. I said there is a thing called perspective. Yes.
Things get smaller because of perspective when they get further away, but they don't vanish.
No, I'm talking about them disappearing bottom up because of perspective. Because the water.
Why would they disappear from the bottom up?
Okay, the horizon. Like I said, the horizon. I think we disagree on what the horizon is.
Well, on the horizon,
the apparent horizon.
Well, on the horizon on perspective, that would be the water rising up to meet the sky. Pretty much at your eye level or whatever you decide the vanishing point's going to be.
So once the boat gets there, it's not far enough for it to be shrinking. It's far enough for it to start disappearing bottom up because of that.
No, it's far enough. It's far enough for it to be shrinking uniformly and remaining on the surface of the water.
See, I disagree with that.
Boats stay.
The thing is, the bottom of the boat is not further away. Therefore, the bottom of the boat will be the same size as the top of the boat, since they're both the same distance away.
There you go. What's different about the bottom versus the top?
The water is ramping up, and it's because of that. It's because of that function of.
How does the water rise?
Right. Hold on. The sky isn't the same as the. So if the sky was like a ceiling, you would see the top of the boat start missing some too. But the sky is more opaque than like the water. The water is harder to see through than the sky.
Here's a very simple question for you then. All right. Now, if you just put a boat out in the middle of nothingness at 10 miles, correct? Would you see the whole boat if there wasn't water below it and sky above it? It was just sitting out there in front of you. Would you see the whole boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're saying if it was just like
if the water and the sky existed,
I think I would see it. I mean, I don't really know, but I think I would see it. Yeah.
All right, but if there was water between you, below you, would the boat be floating on top of the water?
I think you would have some. Bob,
would the boat still be on? No.
Okay, so now it's just water.
Be on the top of the water.
Is there atmospheric things going on or no?
No. Let's just do it with water. Would the boat still be floating on top of the water? Would
I see the boat floating on top of the water 10 miles out if it was just water and nothing else going on? I believe I would see part of the boat.
I believe that you would see all of the boat that is above the water. Would you agree with that?
I think part of the boat, part of the bottom of the boat would be missing.
Only the part that is below the water. The stuff that
I
is
don't know
causing
how
it to
much.
flow.
I don't know how much, but I just know that I think.
Would you see the water line at the boat that is the actual water line on the boat?
I don't know, Bob. I would think that I would see part of the boat missing. That's my answer.
Okay, so
I don't know how
why
much.
would you
I don't know
see,
how much.
why would the line of perspective, why would a line of perspective along the surface of the water rise up and cross the line of perspective from your eye to the water line of the boat? Why would that happen?
That's just a function of perspective. You.
Not any perspective I know. Does anybody else know a form of perspective where lines of perspective cross each other?
No.
It's an apparent horizon. It's apparently there. It's not really, like I said, the water is not really at your eye level. It's really below your feet, but it appears to be at your eye level.
To rise up, yes.
Right.
But is that a line of perspective?
It's from
Does that
perspective,
cross? Does that line of perspective go above your eye level at any time?
I don't know if it goes above your eye level. I don't think it would. No.
It cannot, because study what perspective actually is. It cannot cross another line of perspective. And since the boat is above that line of perspective, there is at no time that line of perspective will cover part of the boat. That's real perspective. All right. You can look it up. You can ask an art teacher. You can buy an art book on perspective. You can do it online. You will see that I am telling you the God's honest truth. There is no way that a line of perspective can cross another line of perspective before the vanishing point.
And you can find, I can show you right here exactly why flat Earth does not work with our horizons. You ready? The line, that's my little guy on a cliff, right? And the higher you go, the more you see. That's correct, right?
Yeah, the higher you go, the more you see it.
Well, what I want you to notice is as the guy's not going to go up, but that line that's diagonal, that's your line of sight. See how as you go up, the flat Earth you're not seeing more of the flat Earth. You're just going to see the same flat Earth.
Sure,
right?
you would.
No, why?
No.
I can make this bigger. Look, I mean, we can do this all day. If I make this line that big, because that's how long it is, right? You're not going to see more than you could look.
Yes, you would.
No,
you definitely would.
No,
yes.
Please look at it before you say that, because what I'm showing you right now is a clear example for why you don't see that. Because look, see that line, that diagonal line?
Sean, would you agree that the higher you go, the more of an angle you have to see more stuff? You're saying you see more. You see more because you have a greater angle.
No, you're wrong.
Yes.
You're wrong. You're so wrong. It's bad. Let me explain again.
Okay, so
let me explain. Okay, look, that line. This is probably the best description anyone could have. I'm a genius. The higher I go with this, it does not matter. It will always see flat Earth. But the problem you have is that from down here, this person can see just the same amount. Where's the hidden? Where does all this behind the hidden observations? You wouldn't have it on a flat Earth. You would see, look, and if there was atmosphere, this is all that blue is atmosphere. Both of them are going to see the same atmosphere, right? Now I'll do it a ball, because again, it works. Get a ball.
Well, he's already agreed that the fact that he can't see the dock at 10 miles but can see it at 3 would be compatible with a curved Earth. But we're looking for other reasons.
Curved water would be compatible with a curved Earth too, but we don't see that either, Bob. So,
well,
but anyway,
but that's what you.
I disagree with everything
exactly.
You just did there,
that exactly what you said, that you can't see it from 10 miles and can see it from 3 is compatible with a curved surface. That means curved water too. All right. We're trying to find another reason that could account for that. We've tried perspective, and as I've shown you, it doesn't work that way.
No, you didn't.
Can I just ask whether this is about contact or convex water?
Can I ask a confusing question?
I love confusing questions.
Instead of talking about,
I'm gone. Peace. I gotta go handle my.
Take care, man.
Thanks for the convo, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
hey Sean, hey Bob.
Hey, guys. Is that the infamous Harry?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's the guy. My confusing question is this: we're talking about boats and stuff disappearing over the horizon. What about what happens when they reappear from behind the curve? How do you explain that?
Well, it's perspective because they reappear from the top up.
The same thing with look backwards. The top was the last part to disappear, so therefore it would be the first part to reappear.
I'm sorry, guys. I really try and be nice to this guy. I don't.
No. You're good this time. This time I was able to not even pay attention at one point.
I mean, I try and be nice to him, but the problem is that he's just so obtuse.
Who is that? Which guy was that?
Seek and find.
Oh, okay. All right.
How many times have we explained this to him?
It's been quite a few. It's starting to get frustrating, but I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to fix him. You're going to fix anybody that happens to be listening to this.
That's the most important part. There are people. I don't care what anyone says. There are definitely someone out there who is listening because they care. I know it.
I have a 1 hour special coming on tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern.
7 o'clock, so it's 4 a.m. Okay, 4 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. My bad, 7 a.m. Eastern. Okay.
And 11 o'clock Greenwich.
I'll say something again too.
But no, I've got a special tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern, and that is that Fight the Flat Earth and Sleeping Warrior had a debate on gravity the other day. And I took the first hour of that 2.5 hour discussion on gravity and density and buoyancy and stuff. And I took every single argument and point made by both parties on gravity and dissected them. So it should be kind of an interesting one. You guys familiar with Anthony Riley or Sleeping Warrior and his famous "and Einstein broke the wand of Newton" quote?
Oh, hell yes.
All right. Well, Craig, Fight the Flat Earth, actually contacted the author of that paper.
Nice.
And his response is, say what? And we're trying to get him to actually do a response, and I don't have that included in the thing tomorrow because that happened after I made it. I made these things a week ago before I went on vacation.
Well,
I'm still pissed at Red for not showing up. We got all the way out there to Cocoa Beach, and the fucker wouldn't come and have a drink with us.
Yeah, I have my opinion of that, so I'll just leave it to myself.
But still, he wanted to get together while we were down there, and we went all the way over there, and he wouldn't come, and he didn't show up.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know why. That's ridiculous.
That sucks.
Yeah. If I show up in
all right,
Tennessee,
Sean.
You and I are going to have dinner, Terry.
Sean, got the same question for you, bro. What's up, players? Wondering what up, man? If anybody can tell us how high we have to be to actually see the curve. That's my only question. You can take as much time as you need. I can even go and come back late. I got to go to work in 2 minutes anyway, so maybe people can think about it for a little while. How high do you have to go to see the curve, Sean? What do you think?
I saw it at 60,000 feet.
60,000. Okay. Wow, that's pretty low. Okay. Anybody else? Is that it? Is that the official answer?
I've got one.
That's my official answer.
Because the Concorde flies higher than 60,000 feet, so that's going to be fun.
No, that's where the Concorde was when I was on it. When I saw that.
Oh, that's funny because there's a lot of complaints of no curve from the Concorde. That's probably why Neil deGrasse Tyson said you have to be above 100,000 feet. Amazing.
You got to listen to the entire Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I know it's quote mining, right? I know quote mining. I know
that is
amazing. I know
quote mining.
I know. Just like when the evolutionists say that we don't have evidence for evolution. That's also quote mining. I know.
He was actually just making fun of flat Earth. Is what he was doing.
Well, I'm sure he was. Actually, I would agree with that. My point is that, he's claiming 120,000 feet. We have Felix Hold on. We have Felix Baumgartner. Felix Baumgartner above 100,000 feet, and they're showing the Earth called New Mexico. That's kind of funny, Then you're inside of his capsule, and it's a flat horizon. So is 60,000 feet now the official answer?
That's my official answer.
Okay, is that where you're going to go with, everybody? Is that it, Sean?
I've seen it at 10,000 feet.
I don't quite believe
10,000 feet. Holy moly, 10,000 feet.
But that was because I had a massive field of view. My full field of view was not obstructed.
Oh, you saw the curve.
Yeah, it was very small.
Wow. Well, I don't know what's wrong with this other gentleman here. Said you got to be at 60,000 feet.
Wait. No one said you have to be. No one said you have to be. He only gave his observation.
I said I was. I've seen it lower than that,
all right.
too.
Well, I mean, there's pictures from the Concorde. I mean, all over the internet. There's no curve there. I wonder why. It's weird.
Can I just tell you something? It's probably because the amount of horizon you've got to see curvature over is so small. Whereas what plane I was in a Europa Classic, which has got huge windows on the front and on the side that you can look out of, and you can basically see the entire horizon.
Yeah, the horizon. Yes, the horizontal line at all altitudes. It's amazing. Okay, so 60,000 feet. Wow, that's pretty low, sir. I haven't heard it that low. I mean, but that is definitely commendable that you're able to stick to your claim. I thought I saw it at 37,000 feet. Then I looked back at my photos and I said, "Oh, oops, it's not there." So
it's pretty slight. There's no doubt about it.
It's so slight, nobody can find it. Nobody can take a picture. It's amazing.
Well, actually,
60,000 feet.
Actually, you can.
We have full pictures of the Earth that you will deny is the actual photo.
Right, from a magical space medium that doesn't exist. Yes, magical pictures that no one can do. Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't think you understand what the word magical means if you think a satellite is.
Yeah, if only space and magical areas where entropy doesn't occur existed, that would be amazing, huh?
I don't know of any put in curve, so I'm not sure what you're speaking on.
I know. I understand atheists cannot believe in entropy. It would destroy everything. when you actually, I'm sorry, evolutionists, people that believe in natural things that come from nothing and turn into magical atheists on the internet. Now let's get real though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Entropy is real. I can't even ask anybody to agree with me that entropy happens on Earth, and half the people will deny that. So.
Can I just ask you something real quick?
I don't know anyone who denies entropy. I don't even know where you're getting this from.
I understand. I've talked to a lot of evolutionists. I know it's these people that believe in a magical space ball. Things just rotate forever and never slow down magically. I mean, there's no entropy. It's amazing.
Really?
Hold on.
You realize that, right?
Now I question whether you understand what entropy is.
It won't slow down.
I know. I have to also define the word define for you, I'm sure, as well. Okay, well, 60,000 feet.
What is entropy to you?
Entropy is literally heat transfer. It's energy transfer.
Well, it's things going from a high state of energy to low states of energy.
There's some big explanations on entropy. It does quite a few things. It's pretty amazing. Oh, 60,000 feet. But here's my problem, though, gentlemen. We got all these air balloons. We're sending up all these air balloons, and none of them have curvature up to 120, 130,000 feet. Isn't that kind of suspicious?
What's the actual angle on the lenses that you've got?
Angle. These are moving air balloons that are constantly changing and varying, and there's no curve unless they.
What's the length of the lens? How zoomed in are they?
Well,
the angle of the lens, it's not stationary. What are you talking about? You talking about the type of lens? Is it a fisheye lens? Is it a wide angle lens? What do you mean?
Is it a wide angle lens or is it a close up lens?
No, when they're not wide angle lenses, there's never any curvature ever.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well, I mean, how much do you want to bet? Let's bet pink slips. What do you drive? Let's bet pink slips.
Pink slips. That's.
How much do you want to bet? I mean, we've only been asking for this stuff for 4 years, sir. 4 years. We want evidence of the curvature of the Earth. Can't have it.
How much you got?
I have the truck right in front of you. Yeah, I have a truck right now that's worth $10,000. So $10,000 could be the bet. So when you want to do it, let's do it.
You want a picture that shows curvature? I'll go.
I'm not sure how I'm going to send my car to you, or you're going to send your car to me, but.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. I've only been waiting 4.5 years for this magical evidence. I can't wait. NASA can't do it, but people on the internet, they can.
Well, seems like the Japanese are pretty capable of it.
I live in the windiest.
Yeah, the Japanese are.
Get lost somewhere.
Soundly already provided.
Larry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't roll like that, Larry.
Thank you, Sean. You know what, Sean? I got big respect for you, Sean, because I got big respect for you, Sean. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't mute anybody. I don't care if it gets like that. You say my name, I'll stop it. But please don't mute anybody on the panel.
Sean, thank you for having me. I will return. I'm going to go to work and come back and talk. Hopefully, we can have these magical pictures of the curve. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good one, sir.
Bye.
I don't care if you guys don't like him. I like him. He's my boy. He helped me in a spot. I was a real bad spot, so I do have a little loyalty to him. He does do the little cram everything and then run. I get it. It's annoying.
Yeah, we would call that a reification.
Larry, I'm not yelling at you or anything. I was just trying to say, don't mute him. Anything, I'll say something. I'm trying to figure out now. I do know Bob got sniped off the panel. I think I see who it is, but I don't want to blame him yet. So we'll see what happens. But as far as
I wonder why. All you have to do is re-invite Bob, and he'll.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that right now. Well, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm trying right now because for everything I've seen before, you can't do that. Once they get kicked, or better yet, if someone else had kicked, or if I had kicked them, then maybe it would work that way. But I don't know if it's going to, because the biggest problem is I don't see him on my list. Hang on, Bob. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I know if you invite him, he should be able to come back in.
Well, the problem with that,
because you literally re-add him to the Hangout. Before then, he wouldn't have been on the Hangout because he got kicked.
I think he can get in here. God damn it.
Yeah, I've debated sending out my own with a camera to see for myself with the disc pivot turn on, and I'm going to use it. I was going to use a pinhole lens camera, which literally doesn't have any glass or anything in it.
It's kind of hard to hear you. Are you like in a fish tank or something?
Well, basically my computer's broken, so I'm having to plug it into the TV, and the microphone is part of the computer, so I'm shouting it across the room.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out why you sounded like that. I was like, in the bathroom or something? I don't.
I'm shouting at my computer across the room.
Ah, I got you. Okay.
So I was debating sending up my own camera with a weather balloon, but I was going to use a pinhole lens on a camera, which doesn't have any glass or anything to distort the view. Except I live in the windiest city in the world, and there's water on all sides of me apart from north, so I'd probably lose the camera.
Gotcha.
Very bad.
All right. Oh yeah. So the person who sniped Bob, come on, man, don't do that. Well, we both know I know who it is, and I'd rather not call you out. So do me a favor, don't hang out back there anymore.
I can speak on what sniped means. So can somebody please explain it?
Get kicked off the panel.
Yeah.
Do they like join and then just kick you?
Yeah, join, don't come fully in, and then they boot you off the panel.
How does that work?
More of a pain in the ass.
We try not to teach people how to snipe people.
So if someone doesn't know, I'd rather not explain it to them.
I mean, I think that they.
I'll explain it to you on the server, but I won't explain it to you here. There are baby trolls that are trying to figure that out as we speak.
You really shouldn't tell me because I'll try and do it to people.
Oh, then you'll get shunned. You'll get shunned and hacked. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get caught real quick. Put it this way: the person that just got done sniping wasn't hiding. He wasn't hiding at all. That's why I'm kind of. That's between them. I don't want to get involved, but He wasn't.
Sean,
he wasn't hiding. Go ahead.
Back in the day when sniping was like brand new, someone would come in, snipe the whole panel,
and then have their own show.
Then start playing porn and then leave.
Oh, they still do that. They still do it.
And the owner couldn't get back into his own hangout.
Well, that was because people weren't. That was before OBS. That was the other hangout. So look up in the top right of where we're at right now in this hangout. See how that says off air?
Yeah.
I have that start button. I can start this and it will become another hangout. But I'm not using it. I'm just capturing it on my OBS. So that way, if someone snipes me, all I got to do is close the window on my OBS, and then they can do whatever the fuck they want with this hangout.
Yeah, back in the day, people used to do it straight from the hangouts, and once you got kicked out, and even if you were the owner, you couldn't get back into your own hangout. You couldn't do
shit about it.
And it's broadcasting live on your channel.
If you can kick out the owner of the hangout, and then they can't then they can't take it off either.
No, they can't. They lose control. They lose the admin part of that hangout, and that hangout is broadcasting to YouTube. And if it can't,
that's a very big flaw.
So it is. It's a huge flaw. Oh, it's a huge flaw. Worst part is you get hacked.
Well, they fixed it now, so you can always get back in your hangout.
No, you can't. If someone snipes me, right now, I can't. I won't even be able to find this hangout. The link won't work for me. It'll say I've been booted by somebody.
Then this is your back chat, right? You created it?
Yeah, this is mine.
Yeah, then you can get back in. They fixed that. So that you can always get right back into your own hangout.
I promise you can't. Wait. Maybe this type of hangout where it's not online, but if I hit that start button and someone snipes this right here, I won't be able to get back there in time. What happens is people are sometimes, if you're lucky, because the time between YouTube's algorithm uploading it and it going to going to YouTube's dashboard, your dashboard basically, or your video manager, the time it takes to get to there is the time you have to delete it. I mean, if too much goes live,
seconds.
you have about 30 seconds to get your ass into your account and delete that stream. If you can't delete it, you're screwed. But you're not getting back in there. It's impossible.
I thought they fixed it where you couldn't be kicked out of your hangout if it's yours.
I thought they were going to do that, but they haven't, not yet. If they had, no one would be panels wouldn't get sniped. People would get sniped, but panels wouldn't.
What happens is once someone snipes the panel, unless you're the owner, you can't get back in, right? You're automatically like blocked from going back into that particular hangout until it.
Well, what happens is when you open up your hangouts. For instance, I'll open my hangouts so you guys can see it. When you open up your hangouts, what happens is actually no, I don't want to do this because it'll be showing you exactly how to do it. Okay, so on the left, it has all the hangouts you've ever been in.
Yeah.
If someone snipes me out of this one right now, I don't even see this hangout anymore.
Wow.
That's the problem. You don't see the hangout to be able to get back in. No, wait. I know what you're talking about. Okay, if I leave this call, if I personally hit that red phone, I can come back in, but then I will no longer be the admin of it either. I won't have controls. I won't have full controls.
Right, because you left.
Yeah.
You gave up your admin.
Yeah,
but then that means the hangout doesn't have one.
Somebody will have admin.
No, somebody won't. It'll just be an old hangout, and then once everybody leaves,
No. Someone gets control. There's always one person in control. That's why when someone snipes you, they don't just snipe the person; they snipe everybody. Because if they don't get everybody, that somebody will be able to get them. That's why it's so fast. That's why they have to do it so fast. The only difference is they, I haven't seen it being done. I do it every once in a while, but I don't ever really even say I'm doing it. But if someone's sitting in the back, you're not going to get sniped because whoever's sitting in the back will snipe them. I mean, when I was on Dreads all the time, I'm telling you right now, I'd probably snipe myself 30 people at a time per show when Dread was going live all the time. There was one day I was doing it so fast that I couldn't be quiet anymore. I was telling people as we were streaming that I was doing it at the same time. They'd pop in and you hit them. It's not impossible to stop them. It takes a lot of effort, especially if you're in the back sniping them.
Right. Yeah, that's why a lot of people stopped putting the links out for the hangout because the snipers were just.
And then the only reason people started, or put it this way, I've never seen someone get porn bombed with OBS. I've never seen it. I'm sure it
Right. No.
I could walk if I walked away. Put it this way.
So I think we should get back on top of it.
Right now, if I walk away from my computer, I can get hit because obviously no one's at my controls. But like right now, we're talking. I literally just turned off the Hangouts. Right now, the broadcast does not see Hangouts anymore. So if someone porn bombed this Hangout right now, nobody would see it. Matter of fact, I'd have to turn my sound down a little bit because they'd hear the Hangout, but no one will be able to see it. And that takes me. And I have 2 hotkeys, and I'm hovering over it when I have it open. So I mean, OBS is if you don't have OBS, you're fucking lost your minds. I'm a full
OBS a little filter. Yeah, you can use OBS as a filter between what goes out on your stream and then.
Oh, does anyone know of any good microphones?
What?
Far away.
Say again.
Does anybody know of any good microphones I could use because my computer's so far away?
Well, first of all, walk up the hallway. Come to your device and say that again.
Well, I'm having to stand in front of my computer because there's like across the room, and it's like I was sitting on the couch, and now I'm sad because I'm having to stand next to my computer.
Why don't you sit next to your computer?
Because
you don't have you don't have a Bluetooth headset or nothing?
No. I got Bluetooth headphones, and I have a microphone which I plugged in the other day, and it completely fucked the sound card.
Your Bluetooth headphones don't have a mic on them?
It doesn't have a microphone on it. And I have a proper microphone, except I plugged it in the other day and it destroyed the sound card. As in, I had to reinstall the sound card.
Turn your stuff down. I mean, let's keep it real. I know you blasted kids love your music.
I'll plug in my microphone again and it'll just immediately stop working, and I'll have to restart my computer about 5 times and reinstall the sound card.
No worries. Yeah, it's so everyone who doesn't know, that was odd. Who doesn't know that paint thing, that the little art thing in the background that I had going, I'm not done yet. I'm gonna present that to you guys because it's pretty damning when it comes to the horizon in itself.
I was gonna ask you, Sean. Did you hear Dred's new intro?
I haven't. The last time he went on yesterday, but he went on while I was on, so I didn't see the beginning.
Yeah, he was on last night, and I guess he has a new intro now.
He what?
He has a new intro song now, I guess.
Oh shit! What is it? I gotta go look.
I guess when you see his stream, as soon as it come on, you'll know. Of course, you'll notice it. That it's different.
Well, I'll go check it out now. I mean, shit. The last thing I'm worried about is him copyright striking me.
Oh.
You're like, damn, man, I thought we were cool. What the fuck?
Who actually wants to see my current setup?
I didn't even hear what you said. Man, dude, forget the couch.
You want me to send you a picture of my current setup through Discord?
Wait, I don't even know what you just said to me.
Do you want me to send you a picture of my current setup, as in where I'm sitting relative to where the computer and the TV is?
No, I'm good. No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Then you'll see what I'm having to deal with while standing in front of the computer.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to deal with you doxing yourself, and then people are like, some kid doxed
Just
himself on
through Discord. Just through Discord DMs.
No, I'm good. That's even worse, dude. I don't need a kid sending me pictures of his house. We're good.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
When is the time that you said it's not flat? I want to know the reason.
I say it one more time.
When did you say it's not flat?
When did I say it's not flat?
Yes.
Oh, when did I? When I?
What is the reason? I mean.
Okay. It was a combination of reasons. It was a combination of a progression, actually, of me understanding what I was actually observing. It played a big, probably the biggest factor is I ended up being in front of a lot of these quote unquote top flat earthers, or not even top flat earthers, but flat earthers that were known to be highly, spoken out about flat Earth. Chemo Spurs, Nathan, Ranty, all these people. I realized really quick that they weren't coming with any evidence. They were literally just preaching an idea.
Oh. Yes, as I thought.
Yeah, it was a combination of a lot of things. Ultimately, it was once I was able to grasp the size of the Earth within my brain, that's when I realized it was flat. I'm sorry, when it was a globe and not flat. And right away I realized I became a flat earther because I didn't know enough.
Okay, thanks for the info.
Yeah, no problem.
I think scale is one of the hardest things for people to comprehend, Sean. Honestly.
It's and I'm not gonna say I do now. I don't. It's still, that's how big it fucking really is. But how to? What I
would, to the rest of the universe.
Well, that's a whole nother stream. I can tell you because I got like another half hour, 45 minutes in me right now. No, but it's like I said, it's a lot of things. Ultimately, I don't think it would ever be one thing. Well, it was never a snap my fingers. Oh my God, I'm not a flat earther. It was a progression. I really went through the is it or is it not before I made my decision, because I didn't want to say, hey guys, I'm not a flat earther anymore, and then a week later it could be flat. That was be the worst thing to happen. So I wanted to make sure I fully understood what the hell I was doing and what I was thinking when I left flat Earth. I didn't want to be on a fence announcing that I was a globe. So it was a progression.
Right. I think the problem is if you take the position that every photo, every image ever taken from space is fake, then that takes away a huge single point piece of evidence that proves the spherical Earth. That's incredibly restrictive. Once you go away from that, then you need a lot of other little small pieces of evidence. I mean, after all, we're standing on something that's 25,000 miles in diameter.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't just come up with one thing and say, there you go, that proves it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was just playing around on this my little paint thing, and literally I have right now, I'm sitting there staring at looks like a flat line with a building on it. And if I zoomed out, I mean, if I don't zoom out, you can't tell me where you're at.
No, you can't.
I'll share with anyone that hasn't been in here, so you can see it and check it out. I mean, it's not perfect, but what you're looking at right now, you think you're looking at a fucking ground and a building, right? I mean, but if I zoom out of that, you're going to see nothing that you observe from that, and that is your observations. Your personal observation is what we're seeing right now, but this is the reality of it. Oops.
Yeah, that actually looks like a little more curvature than there actually is.
Oh yeah, big time. It's definitely not scale. Definitely not scale.
When you draw, I've drawn it to scale in AutoCAD lots of times, and when you cut it down to a 6 mile or so section, it looks flat as hell. I mean, it does.
Holy shit!
It has to.
That's a big ass hole.
Yeah, but it didn't look like it.
I mean,
they can't even comprehend what the scale is.
Building, but that's about it.
And I don't care if anyone goes, it's just painting, or I can see, like he was like, I see a little line. Well, you don't have a dotted line in your observations of regular life, so we could have taken that out of it and it still would have been the same
It
thing.
was a little gap that was like,
But yeah,
But
anyone look.
it's still amazing to see.
Yeah,
that.
anyone who's looking at, like, you can't tell me that this isn't proof. I'm sorry. I don't care how much evidence you take or how you scrutinize it. This is fucking evidence for what we're saying is how it is, and that what you think is not how it is.
It's not really evidence for a globe. It's how a globe works.
Damn building. I'm still learning.
Ruh-roh.
Your building flew off.
No, I'm just gonna move Earth. Don't worry about it. That's how I roll. No, but it
controls even if one goes.
like I said, it boggles my mind. Like the first time I ever did this thing where I kind of just was playing around, I realized it's like, damn, it's really obvious how, like, there's no chance for you to know how much, like, you can't see shit if you're looking at it that way. It's not gonna happen.
Kind of like when playing Kerbal Space Program, it's like, wow, this thing that's even a tenth the size of the Earth is still huge.
And I don't want to move it. I want to keep it like this. So when I want someone new to come in and go, "What am I looking at?" I just showed exactly the problem that flat Earth could only really say they have. They don't get how that worked. That's it.
Still, that's about the size of Kerbin there, so you're gonna make it 10 times bigger to be the size of this.
Oh no! I said earlier when I made it, I said it definitely wasn't to scale because because I don't have the right tools and I've tried CAD and it confuses me more than everything. Let me see. Like because in my brain I'm thinking like that building I just had on there would probably be about this big if we were talking actual size.
I'd say it would be about.
That's just a guesstimate right there.
Yeah, that's probably not even small enough, Sean.
Exactly. I would say those dotted lines. I'd say one of those little dots, maybe like a skyrise at best. At that, you know what I mean? But I mean, if you need me to scale this to understand this, then you're asking so damn much. It's ridiculous. Like you're asking like beyond what a normal person needs.
That's a lot of math.
Say again?
That's a lot of math. Calculation.
Yeah. Oh, well, the best part is I didn't need math to do this, or I didn't need a bunch of math to do this. This is easy as shit. I don't even think I counted it not one time.
Most flat earthers are emotionally attached in their belief.
And that scares me because where's the truth? And then the worst part is if they've convinced themselves it's flat without evidence, or they believe it so much that they don't want to be wrong, then all they're still doing is giving those snake oil salesmen, the guys that I know are not flat earthers, they're just raking in money on it. So
Nathan Thompson, he's a scammer.
Yeah, he's a scammer. Nathan, he's a scammer.
Nathan Thompson.
Both of them. Oakley's worse because he's making probably quite a bit more money on that bullshit. Riley's just as bad. Riley's the worst because Riley claims to be the science flat earther.
Oh.
And what happens? People like Chris will hear someone like Quantum Eraser, and then he comes here and he'll repeat it verbatim. Everyone that's been here long enough hears it, goes, we know that argument, and he wants to argue that it's not. That's a parrot. 90% parrot. I parroted shit. I won't make any fucking. I didn't discover any fucking thing. So everyone. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's just that's Nathan's lapdogs. That's all they know how to do. They just repeat the same thing over and over again. But hey, Sean, is there any way I could present?
Oh, absolutely,
Could I do that?
Absolutely.
Well, give me a minute, and I'll draw you one to scale. Okay.
Okay.
You guys hear me?
You want to see it to scale? Let me.
If it's no problem, I'd love to.
Let me bow out for a second. I'm gonna go here on AutoCAD and draw this damn thing to scale, so you can see what you really are dealing with.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. I mean,
I think my microphone on my computer's crapped out.
I can hear. We can hear you right now, but it's cutting in and out though.
I'm basically shouting into the microphone itself at the moment.
Okay. Well, if it starts to work and you end up shouting in my ear, I'm gonna boot you.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't need to scream if you would just sit next to the computer.
Well, I was sitting next to the computer and shouting into it, so.
You need a new microphone.
Yeah, you need to invest in that microphone.
I invested in the microphone ages ago, except I plugged it in and it crashed the sound card every time I do it.
That means your sound card is old.
Yeah, I've updated it and I've reinstalled it. I think it's just the microphone that's crapped out.
Oh, was it used?
No, it was brand new and it's a Digitech one, so I'm thinking, yeah. And plus the legs are coming off of it, so that's bad.
Jesus. I mean, I see. I'm
it only
irritated.
cost $50 and it looked like a really good one, so that's probably what I get for trying to get a cheap microphone.
Well, I'm irritated because I have this microphone and it gets to my home in a box and I set it up and I plug it in and it sounds like I'm sitting in a hallway underwater with no atmosphere. I know, it doesn't make sense, but that's what it sounds like.
Was it a contact microphone?
Yes.
Oh, that's your problem.
That's not my problem. It's just what I'm dealing with.
Put it on your neck and then it'll pick you up.
So this is what the new microphone. So what I need is a phantom power supply. And
what?
It's called a phantom power supply. It's like a little mini power pack. Because
I thought you meant one for the phantom high-speed cameras.
No. It's for my microphone. So basically, when you plug your headphones into your computer, it doesn't need that much. That doesn't need that much energy or much power. So it just draws a little bit through it, just enough. But the microphone, because it's not just a cheapie, it takes power, and this one, for some odd reason, has a 3.5 millimeter jack on it, so it's not drawing anywhere near enough power. So you have to have an external source of power for this microphone.
Yeah, my microphone has the same thing.
And if I don't, then
you guys get to hear this all day, and then it probably sounds pretty weird. Probably sounds like I'm sitting in a hallway somewhere, and I hate it.
No, I don't hear anything, but it's probably just because I've got bad speakers.
Oh, well, no, because you guys are in the Hangout, and my headphones are still on the Hangout. I can't change all 3 settings.
Oh. Yeah, because we got to remember, my speakers for my computer, I have to arrange to my headset. I have to arrange you guys to my headset, and I have to arrange my OBS to my headset. So I have 3 settings.
Guys, I'm going to be back and I'm going to try and get something to sit on because my hand's getting quite sore because I'm leaning on it.
Okay, thank you, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of headsets.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hey, speaking of headsets, I just bought a piece of crap headset that I'm wearing right now. It's a Bluetooth set for only $9 at Walmart. I'm wondering what the quality is like.
It's great. It's really good.
Really?
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm so pissed because I was gonna get one of those. You're talking about the little headband looking ones, and it's just like a little poofy little mic. Yeah, I was gonna get one of those because those they work the best. I just think what it is the high and the low points of it, like your pop or the fuzziness in the background. Like I can hear a little bit from you, but it's not very much. Not even really much to notice, in my opinion. But once
I was just wondering.
Yeah, but once you get to like the upgraded ones, then you're able to adjust them. Any situation you can edit it because you won't be able to edit really your sound if you recorded what you have now. It's not going to be broken up. But with the upgraded microphone, you can actually do it. Like OBS will allow you to break it up, and it will actually sound crisp still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, these are. If you're wondering, this is the ONN brand. It's like the Walmart brand for electronics. But I've been pleasantly surprised with them. The ONN1 products are actually really good for the price that they are, anyways.
Yeah, I have a cheapy set that are just like right now. I'm staring at them, or I hate them. It's kind of like sitting under one of my screens. Like that's my emergency. Like I'm not sure if you were here. Yeah, you were here earlier. Like and like all of a sudden my audio just went haywire. Nothing worked. And when I first started to check it, I was using that, and then I went to my headphones, and then I tried the mic, and the mic does work. It's just it sounds so echoey. I hate it. I just need to be patient and wait for the other piece that needs to come, and then because I actually got an email about this. I had told people that anything that was donated, I put in a Google Drive spreadsheet that anyone can go look at. The descriptions in the in my description, or the links in the description area. I haven't put the microphone in yet because I'm waiting to put the little power pack piece into it at the same time, because if I enter it in, then it's locked in there. I can't change it. So kind of want them to be together so I can adjust and upgrade it. Say again?
Were the donations for the equipment you're getting?
Yeah,
like audio?
That's all I'm gonna use. If I get a donation, that's all it's gonna go to. It either my computer or a project or something like that. Because I don't want if it's I make good enough money that I don't need this shit. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to make it to improve this rather than improve me. It's not going to. So it'd be better for my computer and better for hopefully experiments I can think of to do that cost money that I don't want to spend out of pocket. Another idea that I had was, or more or less for the super chats, have debates, and instead of me making the fucking money because of the two debating, let them fucking split it.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
It seems rational to me. 'Cause I mean, like everyone knows or a lot of people know who Spurs is. I fucking hate Spurs. Like I hate him with a passion. Like he's like the guy I call the biggest snake oil salesman of them all. But at the same time, I don't think he needs to be on Fight the Flat Earth, not making money, when I'm sitting there watching $300 plus in super chats from things to Spurs, people supporting Spurs. Like those people, most of those super chats were thanks to Spurs. Did he get any of it? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not saying he said he didn't, or no, I'm not saying anything, but I think they should, and I don't think they do. So, and I think both sides should make money. If they're going to debating, the channel shouldn't just make money for being there. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think the channel should make all of the money. I kind of have a differing opinion on that, because, if you want to go on someone else's channel, that's you're basically going on their island and agreeing to their terms, and they put the work to put the platform out. So, I mean, why not?
Maybe I just don't feel big enough for that. I do know that at a certain point you do step it up because of, and I feel like I need to because I'm at my 1,000. But even then, I still don't feel like I still think it would be better for. Let's just say this is a debate. There's only 2 other people here, and I was getting donations. A donation, I probably wouldn't, because that's going. They have to do work, go into my descriptions, go into my PayPal, blah blah blah. But in a super chat, people are using that super chat, to be seen. Their comments to be seen, or for people on the panel to hear what they actually said, rather than reading the whole chats, blah blah blah. But super chats typically during a debate are for those comments are based at the 2 debating, and I kind of see like that's more of a direct to them rather than the channel. But I see what you're saying, and I could see where I could see where it'd be like making a deal, working something out. But I still I think they should get something, because again, I've said this 1,000 times. I'm not part of the group of no one should make money. Trust me, I'm not taking my shit down, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tell you something that sounds nice so that you don't hate me, so you won't stop donating. That shit's bullshit. That's what they do. That's the part I hate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is one of the things that generally comes about by getting huge on any kind of platform, and that is that you gain a certain audience that really likes your point of view and probably agrees with you more than 90%. And what often happens is that any kind of content that you put out is made to keep that core audience there. Whereas, that's one reason why I like these kind of impromptu hangouts that don't get hundreds of live views or anything like that, because you can be at your most honest here. It's not like you're trying to hold up some sort of torch or banner,
Yeah, but that was the thing for me, because I can tell you now, if you listen to my live streams, my very first live stream, to now, I mean, I don't think I've changed, and I haven't been told I have. And again, I'm definitely not at no fucking famous fucking numbers, but my main thing is is to be real. Like, I think someone said the other day, they were like, no one's 100% on the internet, and I piped up and I said I am, and they said no, you're not. And I went no, but I really am. And a lot of people assume just because I don't talk about everything in my life that's not the same. But I mean, you can be yourself. You can not hold back. You can be exactly who you are online. I mean, I don't tell a lot of people a lot of things that are in my life that I see on a regular basis. You know what I mean? It's you should. The reality of it is whether you're on a forum or not, if you're standing in your room by yourself, that's a little different. But you should always assume you're in front of a camera or you're always being recorded. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just common sense. It's 2019. Like, if you're not thinking that way, I think you're trying to get caught.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way for those who know me, because I go into chats sometimes. I type exactly how I speak. In fact, everything that I type is like vernacular. I type it as if I'm speaking, and I don't change my personality drastically throughout a chat. I just type who I am.
Yeah, I can't type for nothing. Yeah. Like, I try, but I literally look like a fourth grader typing in cursive. I don't know how that works, but it looks like it when I type. It's all messed up.
It's okay. I mean, that's why there are many people that can type extremely well but not speak very well for a variety of reasons. It could be a stutter or a stammer or a lisp or something like that. And then you got the other way around where someone can just be verbose as hell but not be able to type well. So everybody's got their own strengths and weaknesses. It's fine.
Oh yeah. We're all different, which is why science is so wonderful, because we all can't observe exactly the same thing. We needed something. See how I segued? That was a good one, right? No, they were doing it earlier at Jose, so I thought it was funny.
So you want to see a sketch, Sean?
Absolutely, sir. Let me go ahead and make sure you're presenting to everyone. So whenever you're ready, you'll be presenting.
All I have to do is do share screen?
Yes.
Or screen share? Yeah.
Screen share, yeah.
Okay. Can you see that? Or
on your side, present to everyone. And then that way we will. Because right now all I see is your avatar.
I've never done this before, so I may need some help.
Okay, so it should, right above, like everywhere along the top rail, there should be a present to everyone button. Or you'll hit share. What's up, man? You'll hit the green button on the left, then you'll hit whatever application you want, whatever window or tab you want, and then top again, it should say present to everyone.
I'm back, and I'm closer to the microphone.
I'm working on it. Let's see.
Yeah, no worries. No hurry. All right. There we go. You're presenting now.
Now I am. Okay. All right. That is a circle with it's 8,000 units in diameter. That's what I drew. So it has no dimensions to it, so to speak, but it represents an 8,000 mile circle, right?
Okay.
That's what we're looking at. Let me zoom in up here.
God, yours looks so much cooler than mine.
Let me zoom in.
It's flat.
Okay, I'm zooming in. Yeah, let's see if I can get that thing centered a little bit better than that, maybe. Oh, shouldn't have done that. Let's try it again. I want to go right there. That's what I want. This mark is 3 units from this mark. In other words, 3 miles from the red line to this yellow line. 3 miles from the red line to this yellow line. That's 6 miles across there. That's about what you can see.
Okay.
Normally.
An average, right? Yeah. Okay. Or yeah.
And that's a 500 foot tall, 200 foot wide building.
Damn.
You see the problem? This red line is actually the straight line. That's a straight line between those 2 points that are 6 miles apart. That looks pretty damn straight.
Yeah, especially if I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find curvature in that distance, being nitpicky. But if you're like they do, the observation that they want, that first observation, looking around, that's still flat. That's flat.
This is why that's right. This is why you won't see it. If I let me just take the straight line part of it out, erase that thing. No, except for the little zigzags that AutoCAD puts in it because, it knows
Did you by any chance add something the size of a person in there? Could you by any chance add something the size of a person there?
The size of a what?
Oh, a 6 foot tall person for scale.
You'd have to really zoom in on it. Yeah.
Well, if that's a 500 tall
that's 500 feet tall.
Right. So a person's basically going to be like 2 pixels.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's going to look like a tiny stick is what is going to happen.
Yeah. Let me do a little math.
But this is a good demonstration of why flat earthers often they just don't get size relationships. For some reason, they just can't understand it, or they actually feign not understanding it.
My question would be because literally, I know some of you guys were in here when I was doing it, or in the chat when I was doing it. When I started messing with that paint thing, the little designs and all that, I had just realized how to do that. Like I just went, wow, why not just make a circle and zoom into it? How come flat earthers aren't doing these things and going, why are the observations we're seeing in the observations that I'm able to recreate with this? Why is that happening? If we don't, like, why aren't they saying that? Because I didn't do this when I was a flat earther. It didn't even dawn on me. I didn't care to.
Well, yeah, some just don't. Some just don't. I don't know. It just doesn't either occur to them, or they are terrified of poking too deep.
And I think it's
something that is made of pixels and CGI. It could wreck my whole preconception of what it is.
Yeah, and it's weird because to to me it was like, if it wrecks it, then good, then I'll know. I'll know what I'm right and wrong about.
Well, the little bitty box there is about the size of a person.
Also, they're invested in it.
That's a big person. Yeah, it's.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's an oblate spheroid type person.
Yeah.
Like
Shaq. Flat earthers, many of them are just straight up religiously invested in it. It almost becomes like a religious experience.
Fundamentalists.
Yeah, I told you, and mind to God, man, I'm worried about you. You're the first. I'm telling you, he's the first religious person I've ever heard say, if it's a globe, then he does not exist. And I went, like, I don't even know. I've never heard a believer talk like that before. And I don't think he's not a believer. I'm pretty damn positive he is, just in the way he talks. But I've never heard anyone say that before. Like, I've heard people say it's not a globe, so I don't have to worry about that, all that kind of crap. But I've never actually heard someone say, no God. Like, whoa. Like, that's a hell of a fucking line to draw right there. I even told him, I even said, dude, no, you do realize when you realize it's a globe, you can still have your God. It doesn't take it away.
Yeah. You could just say that's the way God made it. Come on now.
Shit, if there
you can be a compatibilist about it.
Yeah, if there was a God, man, then how can you? That's the thing. If someone believes in God, they shouldn't even be arguing, because then everything's possible to them. So if God couldn't do that, yeah, of course they could. Well, then that's what he did. He made that horizon work like as if it was on a ball. Huh? That's odd. But he did it. That's just the way it is.
See, that's what I don't understand either. Is that most very even fundamentalist Christians that you talk to will admit that God can do anything. He can even do things that are impossible, change the world to anything he wants, direct people to anything he wants, the whole omnipotent, omniscient thing. And yet if it's going to be a globe, then you're just going to say no. It just defunks it all. That's kind of inconsistent ways of thinking.
True.
The actual logical conclusion there, if you're going to be very religiously devout like that, is if you actually find out that the globe is spherical, just take a compatibility, compatibilist approach to that, and just say, well, if God's capable of the possible and the impossible, this is how he made it.
Yeah. Here's what worries me the most. I thought there were more. I honestly thought there were more flat earthers that were just gung ho into only truth. And I'm not saying even anywhere near a majority are liars. I just think, like, being locked in, part of the group, things I heard, that they are the reasons. My numbers were just off in how many I thought actually gave a fuck to really learn. Like, I know a lot of want to know the truth, but I really want to know. Like I said, man, 2 years I've put so much into my freaking brain. I'm trying to teach myself fucking physics right now. Like, like I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for flat Earth. But now I'm interested. Now I want to do those things. But even from starting point 0 till now, I mean, anybody can do that and decide whether or not things are real or not without just saying they are or not.
Well, you also have to remember that a lot of the flat earthers, they'll base it on a foundation of conspiratorialism. So flat earth is just one symptom of a larger problem that we're all being lied to and so on.
Which brings me to the next the problem. I'm a conspiracy theorist. True and true. I got 9/11, Pearl Harbor. Like, I do all of those. Thing is I'm a little different. I don't do the holograms. I don't do Tupac was flying. I don't do those things. Like 9/11, I believe it was a false flag through documents. Now, I can't say it's lock and barrel, obviously, because if it was, then the whole 9/11 reports would be different. I'd probably be in prison. But that's here nor there. But for my brain, for the idea of could they not have, is based upon a lot of facts that don't make a lot of sense either. Investors back, Delta, the company that obviously the planes that were used, and unprecedented, unrecorded history in the past 100 years of, I think not 100 years, I think it was 35 years of Delta. Never once has this happened. 35% of their investors sold all their stocks. just sold all of them. And this is all at one time. It wasn't like a spread out thing. This was a few months before 9/11. Now, that's not anything near proof. It's just, something you put on the table to look at when you're looking at everything when you're done.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just that, unlike you, a lot of people that are very deep into conspiracy stuff, some of them cannot separate one conspiracy from another. They can't see the dividing line between a 9/11 truther and just the shape of the Earth, right? Yeah. So it all becomes like it's all connected, man. That sort of thing. And so they'll use other conspiracies or the notion that there could be conspiracies to base flat Earth upon, and that's just the wrong way to do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, any reasonable person knows that. The thing to remember too, though, is that a flat Earth isn't even a proper conspiracy theory. It's not.
It's not.
It doesn't have the hallmarks that other conspiracy theories have.
It does in the fact that they did believe it was flat at some point in our history. That would give it enough. But, it shouldn't be this. I It definitely shouldn't be this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The reason I say that, though, is when you look at other popular conspiracy theories, like the whole 9/11 thing, JFK, a whole slew of others. The hallmarks of those is that they are either a one and done event that you cannot reproduce. So of course we're not going to test to see the structural integrity of metal by building 2 towers, waiting 25 years, and then putting planes into it, right? So it's a one and done event that you can't reproduce, or it is a very small cabal of people that are able to keep either a secret or a platform for misinformation.
Well, only a select few need to know.
Right. Now, but flat Earth is none of those. You can literally have billions of people at any one time go outside, make flat Earth observations, because flat earthers and globe earthers alike will agree the shape of the Earth doesn't change, right? So, so it's not, and if you were to make a precedent that this was a cabal of people keeping information from people or disseminating wrong information, then that would be millions upon millions of people in on it, and that is not a hallmark of a conspiracy.
Yeah, that'd be a conspiracy theorist red flag. Like, oh, okay, this there's not enough. I'm chasing coattails right now. And
well, it's millions.
Have you heard that volcano's fake?
And it stretches over a span of hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. That makes it very, very hard to believe it.
Yeah.
It's not a one-time, as you're saying, it's not a one and done type deal. This has to be ongoing forever.
Right. It's people think how big this flat Earth is too big. I can't think of anything too big for the military or our government to do for their own personal gains. But yeah, it's just the biggest issue is this: if we listen to if we listen to conspiracy theorists that don't take it seriously, what ends up happening is there are no such thing as shootings. Like, especially in this community, people that are hearing me now live, maybe not even listening because you may have just found me. I don't know how, and I'm sorry, but it's pretty. How do you say it? It's trying to think of how to say it.
Don't be sorry that people found you. It's a good thing.
Yeah, be happy for that.
It's just that there's a narrative that we all hear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there may be different ideas, but everybody, like, there's like, this group isn't the Flat Earth Society debates, and you know what I mean? No one's debating that version of Flat Earth. There's a version here. And it's I don't even know how to explain it.
The vast majority of flat earthers hate the flat Earth society. So
with a passion.
Things splinter off, and you get different factions.
Different. It's just, but there's nothing. There's nothing to back flat Earth. I mean, there are some insanely great globe deniers. I mean, but again, science has done that because you're getting that information from them. I know that because all day we sit. When I was a flat earther, we go in hangouts, and flat earthers, you all know we do it, or you guys did it. Damn, that was weird. But to sit and just dig and dig and dig for documents, like all day. I've done 18 hours once just digging, looking for patents and documents. And again, but the problem is that doesn't prove flat Earth. You're just digging through scientific documents that you tell everyone their lies, and then showing them to us, and we're going, we know science tells us that's a phenomenon. Science tells us that's a mirage. And you're now going, well, I think it's different. And we're going, fuck yeah, if you think it's different, tell us about it. And you're going, well, I can't. And we're going, thanks for, that's called edging, and that's not nice. Not nice. And if you guys don't know what that means, Google it. Don't ask me. Okay, so anyway, it's not for me. And I know I just went off on a tangent. I need to know which flat earthers are real and not. And this is personal because I have a lot of flat earth friends, and I'm getting different answers now. Like, hey, what's up, man? Are we cool? And I got to answer like, hell yeah. But I mean, no. And it's like, what? What the fuck does that mean? I mean, if we're cool and we consider each other like brothers, it probably shouldn't fucking matter that, we don't think alike anymore. And even then, we didn't think alike. When I was a flat earther, it was in my little group. It was a joke, ongoing joke. First of all, I got one guy in my chat. I don't know if he's here right now, Joey. He's called me 50-50 since I got here. Like, he's like, half and half on the fence. And I mean, he's called me that the whole time. I was the only flat earther that I had ever met, or anyone who I'd even ever talked to, who believed in evolution. Like, it was unheard of to not believe. Like, any flat earther doesn't believe in evolution. I was running around debating about it.
Well, yeah, someone that constantly says you're like 50-50, you're on the fence now. You're not part of us. That's kind of,
he says
synonymous.
It's a joke to him.
A religious.
Well, it's a joke to him, but yeah, what you're saying is the joke about it. For me,
I mean, was he joking?
No, he was definitely joking. I joke about it because I had just many, I had more debates with flat earthers than I did with any glober when I was a flat earther for 2 years. I mean, I debate there's no dome because there's no dome. I know that. I knew there was no dome. Just doesn't work. But I also believed in space, and I believed in satellites. Why? Because I know the technology, GPS, and all that stuff. Yeah. So then what I did there was an 8-month stretch where I was just researching and trying to figure out different types of propulsion systems in space.
Yeah, I could see why someone would call you 50-50 because one of the tenets of flat Earth, part of the flat Earth ethos is you have to deny space. You have to deny what you can't reach out and actually touch.
And then
right. So,
you have to totally deny it.
Pretty much.
If there is one single photograph or image taken from space, the entire flat Earth thing falls apart completely. So that has to be totally, absolutely denied.
Yep. And then one of the biggest aspects of that is in itself, you go, and the obvious one, and none of these things were obvious to me then, so that's why I even talk about them like they're so awesome that I found out. Like I found them out. How eclipses don't work. Now, the only alternative for an eclipse to work on a flat Earth would be other bodies in the celestial bodies in the sky.
Invisible moon, invisible sun.
Say again.
The invisible moon and invisible sun.
that's what it would take.
Oh yeah. D Marble and a whole plethora of others during the eclipse last summer. That's all they talked about for at least 2 months. Is that we have to find that invisible thing that made the eclipse happen.
Well, well, check this out. This is why last year's eclipse was such a big deal. Well, for me at least. D Marble's video upload, not last year, the 2017 one. That one was actually the day that I became a flat earther. This is the reason why. And wasn't the reason, but this is what tipped me over and verified what I was being told by other flat earthers. You know, NASA, blah blah blah. When you don't know very much and you think you know, and you're hearing something, you look into it and you find those little things. This is what becomes so much more believable. So we had that eclipse. It was the path of the eclipse was not normal, I guess. Again, I'm a caveman, so I don't really know. I'm not gonna give you details, but there was a path that it took, and NASA comes out with a video, and they're talking about, you know, this is like a big deal to science, because I guess whatever's happening is never really happening. I don't know. Again, not smart, but they came out and said, we don't know why the shadow's trajectory will appear like it will.
They actually did know why.
No, but but I promise you, NASA on a NASA YouTube channel, like YouTube Kids almost, but with teenagers on it, they literally came on and talked about the eclipse, talked about its importance to science, and then they started talking about the totality of the shadow, and the way it was traveling was something they could not explain, and they would need to look into the data, they said, to give further explanations for it. Well, the thing is when they showed that video, the moon, right off the bat, I realized first of all, the moon's orbiting wrong. The Earth is actually spinning wrong. Like, it was not a good model. It wasn't like you were teaching it. It was just like, it looked like 2-year-olds put together, and spun the balls whatever way they decided at that moment. And D Marble had just came out with an eclipse video where he showed the totality of and explained how it works on a flat Earth and a globe at the time, and it didn't make sense to me. I was like, well, why is NASA? I promise you, I remember, because it was the day. Huh?
I think I remember that one. That's when he darkened the room and took a flashlight.
Yes.
And tried to shine it on that.
Yeah.
And he actually, he actually made some sort of boast. He said if any globe earthers can show me the actual math on it, I'll totally take this back. And he basically did a challenge, and I did the math right there on his YouTube feed.
Well, the problem was at that time, and maybe the way I described it, what they didn't understand, maybe I described that part wrong, but I know it had something to do with visual, like seeing it and it not making sense. I remember that part, but no one else was doing it. That's why he felt that way. I don't know what I saw on it that it was actually wrong. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he was right, but I'm just saying that that I heard that day and what happened, those were like my last I'm not a glober steps. So I just wanted to, it was just ironic that you had said something about his last year's video, and that's, you're prior to that.
If I remember, I'm kind of foggy on it, but I think what that was is, yeah, the NASA had a conference, they had the teenagers on and so on, but the actual person hosting it, he didn't personally know why. It wasn't that NASA didn't know why.
That's
the
right.
guy that was being portrayed there didn't know why. So when that happened, the whole flat Earth community just blew up over that.
But
see, NASA didn't know.
Well, they're bad about that. They'll pull those snippets out of context.
Right.
And everybody at NASA doesn't know everything about everything. I'm sorry. I mean,
well, I'm a firm believer that someone who works at Michelin doesn't know how to build a NASCAR or drive one. So
No, probably not.
It's 100% proof that you do not need to know about the scheme to be part of it. You know, people like Debbie. I'm not sure if you guys know Debbie, or I know you know who Debbie is. She depicts NASA as one, like everything.
It's like a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not a guy. It's 5,000 guys or 10,000 guys.
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of people, and that goes along with the conspiracy aspect of, like we were talking about. If every, like you say, like you go on each one of these people's pages, and every shooting is a hoax. Every shooting, every single one, and they all called that out within an hour after it happening. It's like, wait, you have better investigative skills than investigators that are there compiling evidence, and all you got is a YouTube video, and you're telling me you figured that out, and every single one is a hoax. It's like that's not a red flag that maybe you're not that good at picking out hoaxes and stuff, because like when people get to that point, they lose their minds. I mean, it's not even a flat earth thing anymore. I literally, when this the New Zealand shootings happened, I go to a channel of a buddy of mine, and I hear two panel guests, not him, two panel guests laughing their asses off, and they're laughing and depicting the shootings as if it was fake. And it wasn't that they questioned it. I don't mind that. But when you laugh at something because you think it's fake, you realize, I said this, I'm like, you realize you're laughing at, there's a chance you're laughing at people that are dead. Like, their families are in mourning right now, and you're laughing your asses off because you think you know. And,
yeah, that part pisses me off too.
Say, Sean, someone named Dre Midas in the YouTube chat. I think he has something to say to you regarding something you said a few minutes prior. Yeah.
Well, I think one thing that gets people don't have a good sense of scale. And if you're still seeing my screen, I'm showing you how they will normally on the left hand side you see the blue Earth thing, and the little yellow ball is to scale what the moon looks like, and they'll show it like, just for convenience, just so you can see some detail, they'll show it like the moon is that close. It's just an artist's depiction, when in fact, that's where the moon is. It is way the hell over there. The moon's out here. The Earth is here. That's to scale. That's 238,000 miles. That's what it looks like. That's the reason why you never see it shown like that, because you can't see any damn detail at all. When you zoom in on the Earth, drawn to scale, that's the outside line is the Kármán line. That is technically where space begins. That's how much atmosphere we've got, just that much.
And even at the top of the Kármán line, it's rarefied to an insane level.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've zoomed in. There's the Kármán line. There's the Earth. There's our 2-3 mile markers right there, the little yellow lines right there. Can you see the building? I can't see it. Where's the building? There's the building. Okay, now I finally see the building. I can't see the little guy yet. Where's oh, there's the little guy. Still can't see him. Have to zoom in even more. Oh, the cat doesn't even like this. There he is. There's a little oblate spheroid guy. I should make him a little circle. Make him look better. Here, let's make a little fat guy like that. Yeah. There we go. There's our little oblate spheroid guy. Okay. That's the problem.
Yep.
That's to scale. Now go out to where the sun is. That's only 238,000 miles there to there.
Oh man, it would be
go 93 million, and you won't even see the Earth.
Yeah.
It'll just be a pixel.
Yeah, I think I've seen one. I've seen one pic, and it looked like it didn't look like little specks in the distance. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it is so insane. The distances are so insane compared to the size of things.
Basically, about 400 times that distance is approximately to the sun.
Yeah,
400
like
times that distance. Yeah,
something like that. I'm not even sure. I might blow AutoCAD up if I try it, but I might just try.
I'm just doing a round number because the average to the moon is like 233,000 miles, and if it's 93 million to the sun, you're basically multiplying that by 400. What you just showed. About. Yeah.
Let's see what AutoCAD does. Oh boy. Okay, there's the Earth and the moon back over here. The sun is over here. Let's see if we can draw the sun. Well, I'll just do it this way. Sun's about 800,000, so. Oh, there's the sun. Okay, cool. All right. Here is a 2-scale representation. There's the sun, and there's the Earth and the moon. Wow.
Yep.
There's the problem.
Okay, your next challenge is to map out the outer planets on that.
Thank God I don't know any of those distances, so I won't even try.
It gets into the billions, so yeah.
Oh, it's just crazy. I mean, the distances are so crazy. And, you know, people are not made to be able to visualize this stuff very easily.
Yeah.
But I think once you sit down, whoops. Let's see what I can do here. Res.
Oh, we have a dodecahedral sun.
Well, we got a dodecahedral Earth because I've made this thing so damn big now. It's just going to do that.
Yeah.
I've lost all the resolution in the in AutoCAD because of it, just because of the way we got everything represented. But I need to get rid of the sun is what I need to do. Okay, son, we're going to kill you. I have killed the sun.
You just inspired a dodecahedral Earth society. We're going to have another sect of flat earthers because of you. Thanks a lot. They're going to refer to this live stream as proof every time when you ask them.
Let's see if we can fix this. Apparently not. I've totally screwed it up. Okay, I'm done presenting.
It's okay, we got it.
It was a great presentation, though.
That gives you a really good feeling for the kind of scale you're talking about.
Yeah, it's and that's I don't think you can get any more simpler of a test or an experiment for your observations than what you did and I did with my crappy ass stuff, which is so crappier than yours.
No. Yours is fine.
But like it's a straightforward, right away, clear, very clear way of seeing why you think it's flat.
Well, yeah. Why shouldn't you? I mean, it should look flat.
Yeah.
You're complaining because you're seeing what you should see.
Yeah,
that's always my argument with those guys. I mean, you're bitching about the fact that you're seeing exactly what you should see.
Yeah.
Why would you think you would see anything other than that?
Yeah,
Of course.
that's one of the biggest things to me. It's like, okay, well, if you're looking for flat Earth evidence, what do you think it is when it doesn't work? Because you guys, there's not. Where are these flat Earth tests? I mean, they're like, we need more time. Like, no, wait, Tom, don't you guys have FEer, right? Like, not all of them follow them, but I mean, that's the closest flat Earth scientists they have, in this area, this community, and if I was a group of scientists proving that the government lies and we do live on a flat Earth, wouldn't you be kicking out every single test like 5 minutes after you did it? Like, we gotten one test from FEer.
Oh yeah, they can't do that. They work off of feelings of incredulity, but that's all they got, and that's all they think that is sufficient.
And
for a lot of them,
I heard
you don't get to just indiscriminately throw out data if you don't understand or do anything truly scientifically. You take the good with the bad. I mean, the answer is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, there could be other answers, but
no
matter what,
because if it doesn't agree with your expectations, well, guess what?
Yeah.
You didn't guess correctly. That's your problem.
Yep. And there'll be other explanations for things, and some of them won't make sense and they won't work. But you'll be able to, once you understand what's being talked about, you'll be able to understand where whoever went wrong, not just going, it's wrong. Because that's disingenuous to yourself, realistically. Like, fuck whoever you think you're debating or who you're thinking you're going to convince. This is a convince yourself thing right now. Like, everyone that's like, I need to convey to this person I am a flat earther, or this person I'm a glober. Like, it's like these things. This is a personal thing. This like, you're not doing flat Earth for anyone else. Well, the government. No. Well, if that's the case, then let's work on what the government's doing that we see that's affecting us now. That our kids will probably be really effed up over. Like, let's worry about that stuff. Let's not worry about the shape of the Earth. No one's trying to sell and they're going to fall off the side, so that does not matter. What if there's more people over there? Well, they probably got their own problems. It's probably fucking pretty cold over there. So let's just focus here.
Well, they haven't been over here eating our shit yet, so I don't really care if they're over there.
Yeah, whatever's going on. I mean, I'm assuming there's a lot of drugs because I mean all the top officials go there, and it's like a party because they only go there for a short amount of time, and it is. You can't live there because no paparazzi.
Yeah, well, when they sneak over here and I catch one of them in my backyard, then I'll start worrying about it.
Sounds like a good sign. See, just time to lock some stuff up, maybe load the guns, stuff like that. Sandra Bullock's in my backyard. Shit. Get the dynamite. Get it. No. Get the lighters
Quick.
too. Get the lighters too.
Those Antarcticans have come over. Oh my God.
That's Roseanne Barr with a penguin? All right, let's go. Time to go. Pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. Fuck, it's flat. Let's go. God damn it. Get in the truck. Let's go.
Where's the dog? Somebody get the dog.
Of the A-listers.
And I'm just saying, but like, there should be something. Like, there should be like the one thing. I mean, realistically, if with the time, I'll even say 5 years. 5 years time that's already happened. Flat Earth, and in my opinion, especially because trust me, there's not a lack of ambition to figure this out. It's there. Trust me, I spoke to hundreds of flat earthers that are really wanting to figure this out. Means and time, all that stuff plays a factor, but there should be like one thing that like flat Earth has found. All of science has gone, fuck, we don't know why it does that shit. And yeah, whatever, the flat earther, he can take that one thing. But it should at least be one thing by now. One.
Yeah, there is none. Not one single thing.
Yeah,
nothing.
And they go,
other than the only thing they have is it looks flat. That's all they got. It looks flat. It should look flat. Hell yeah.
I've read the number off, and it's a very dismal percent. It's like, what is it, like 5 zeros and 3%. is what you see of Earth at any given time. So to think you're going to see any, like, put it this way, the reason the images from the top of Mount Everest are so valuable is because it is not normal. It's not what you see on a regular occasion. You're never that high. Now, if you do get that high and you're on the ground, you're probably a flat earther. That was a joke. It was funny. Ha ha ha. I smoke weed, so don't worry about it. It was a joke. But realistically, it's the idea of what you're supposed to be able to see. I think they don't put enough, they put too much credit to themselves. And then when it comes to government and science, they put blinders on, like they don't want to realize the truth about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you should want the truth for everything. Every single thing. When I like I said, when I did that 9/11 thing, I didn't just look at the United States. I went, what the hell's going on in Iraq? That's how I found out about all the sanctions that they have on them. I mean, you have to branch out. You got to be open.
Well, there's just so much evidence that has been around for thousands of years that people have recognized for thousands of years. If you live somewhere near the equator, I mean, you can look north and see a celestial pole up there with the stars rotating one direction. And you can look south at the same time to a southern celestial pole and see the stars rotating in the opposite direction. Now, how the hell can that work on a flat Earth? It doesn't. It just doesn't. Sorry. You can do what Bob and I did 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whenever.
I still plan on doing that.
And repeat Eratosthenes' experiment. And if you just do that at one point, you can say, well, hell, that would work on a flat Earth just as well as it does on a globe. Yeah, it would. The trouble is when you do it at 2 different latitudes, or better still, hopefully in the summer, I'm going to be able to get more people involved. And we'll do it at 5 different latitudes or 20 different latitudes.
I'll definitely be in by that time.
Every different latitude will end up showing a calculation for this 3,500 mile approximate sun elevation that they've got in their heads. It puts the sun at a different elevation. Every latitude puts it at a different elevation. Now, how in the hell can the sun be in multiple places at the same time? That doesn't work.
And it would have, for the seasons, it'd have to either rapidly speed up and rapidly slow down, and still have the same amount of day and night that we observe on a regular basis.
And just exactly like Bob and I showed, you can use the sun, or you can use Polaris, or you can use the southern pole star. You can use you can take a sextant. We used a damn stick. That's all. But you can find your latitude exactly from the angle of the sun, or shooting Polaris.
One of the inherent problems, though, when you're trying to present this to, shall I call it, a dyed-in-the-wool flat earther, someone who will never sit on any fence, right? Someone who's sure of it. A lot of them don't trust the reliability of math. You can't show them trigonomic calculations that would to describe what you just said, that you will see different shadows on different latitudes than what you would see if the Earth were flat. So that's kind of the inherent problem with, let's say, a dyed-in-the-wool flat earther. But for someone who is open to it, you can of course teach them math. But I even did that geometrically with using no math, just a piece of paper, just cutting out a paper doll, the same way Eratosthenes could have done it. He didn't need any math. Anything that would construct a replica of that angle, 3 sticks will do it. Sure, and you could just shine a light on a large ball and have a small model of it as well.
Yeah.
Again, though, flat earthers don't trust that. They say, well, that's just a small thing. It's not the big Earth. It kind of gets I don't know. Flat earthers get a little bit self-defeating at times when they think like that, because they're actually not open to even entertaining the possibility of the other side. And that's kind of what you get.
Well, that's exactly right. And
yeah,
when it's that deeply ingrained, when it's that sort of emotional religious belief, there's nothing you're going to ever say to a guy like that that's going to convince him otherwise. So that's not really what I'm trying to do anyway. I really don't want to convince. If they don't want to believe it, I don't care what they believe. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to be convinced. It wouldn't have worked. Luckily, I found just the right Globers at the time who were willing to talk to me and willing to give me the respect not to just talk shit, and I had the opportunity to figure shit out.
Yeah, but see, again, you were willing to entertain something opposite to your current beliefs. What I just mentioned was that a lot of flat earthers are not even willing to do that, and that's what gotta do.
But it does go both ways. I mean, I guarantee you, there will never be a good meeting for experiments with the quote unquote red rhetoric camp and say Nathan Oakley's camp. Not gonna happen.
No, it won't. Of course not.
And that's the problem, because those two, they're realistically, they have pretty much the biggest platforms in this little group we have here, and they're the ones who should be doing, saying they present the most evidence for. So you would think that they would be the best combination for people to do the test together, but they can't.
Well, they can, because the conversation starts out, "Look, you stupid asshole."
Both sides.
Exactly, both ways. And when it starts out like that, there's no way you're going to resolve anything ever.
That's why I don't like debates, really, because debates end up, they're passionate. You want to win. When you want to win, you're willing to cut corners, and it's not that it's unethical to do so in a debate. I mean, that's just the strategy of a debate. You're going to streamline your argument, basically.
I totally agree with that. To me, debating this is just absolutely silly.
Absolutely.
The shape of the earth is not something to debate, God damn it. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. The question is, what is it? It's not a debate.
Yeah, I mean, and you can question anything. I don't think I've never heard anyone say, "You're a dumbass because you question science." No. I don't say it, but I understand. The reason that comes out is because you say something like, "Gravity isn't real." Okay, that's it. I mean, if you said gravity is not real, I came up with this fucking hypothesis about why this, and this happens, and it seemed odd to me that this, and this happens. I mean, no one can fucking put you down for that. It's the gravity isn't real. The most recent absurd one I heard is the little g in that equation, just take it out. No, just take it out. It'll still work. That's the latest one I heard. So
some flat earthers do exactly what you just said, except they'll use reasons such as, well, Einstein lied his entire life, and Nikola Tesla is the best scientist in the whole world, so we're just going to go with him, and that's the reason why. I mean, people will do that.
Oh, absolutely. But see, here's the problem, though. People, both sides do that, and I always wondered what it was going to be like, because for 2 years now, you run under the banner of a flat earther. Anytime you talk about conspiracy, you're getting shot down right away. But as a Glober, they at least let you sit down in the room. But when I start talking about certain things, because a lot of people I personally feel don't know maybe as much as they think. I think yesterday we had the conversation about military weapons and stuff, where the idea of what we're thinking, I know there's definitely technology, weapons that the public isn't privy to or know about, yet there is a debate for how much ahead of that are they, and how right. I know there's a very small margin, and no one's probably right, because they're top secret weapons I'm not going to know about. The government sucks. They're assholes, but they're not fucking stupid.
Boy, I hope I hope you're right. I really do. I honestly hope the government is keeping some secrets.
Oh yeah, we do.
Vice versa. The one thing that makes me realize why the government does lie, and it is and could be for our own good, is would you want them to tell everyone that there was an asteroid that was going to hit Earth? Anybody? Because
shit, no.
If you
Why
say
would you
yes,
do that?
yeah. If you say that they should, you're fucking crazy because you
have
absolutely just made the biggest what do you call it? The biggest purge on like ever to be talked about. Because that's what's going to happen.
We don't have enough
bedlam.
We don't have enough cops to take care of that. We don't have enough soldiers to take care of that.
That's why I said the purge will happen. We'll kill it. We'll all kill each other before it got here.
The first thing that would happen is markets crash, and then everything is based off of speculation there. So if it becomes official that an asteroid's hit us,
but that speculation isn't really big finger quotes, like big ones, like really big ones, like your arm stretched way.
Yeah, it would be bedlam if
big time.
If it were,
and if
it were verified that an asteroid were to hit.
But you and I've heard it. I'd want them to tell me. I want to have time with my loved one. No, you wouldn't have time. That's not how it would work. It's not. This is not the movies. You're not going to all huddle in a corner and tell each other you love it. You're going to be in panic. You understand that? Your brain's going to instantly kick you into survival mode. So all that. Well, some people will just sit down and wait, but they're still panicking. Nothing rational is going to happen. Not one thing. That's the problem. No rational thinking will happen after that report. They'll be like, asteroid's coming, and boom, gone.
That is absolutely true.
Sean.
Yes, sir.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I shared something in the group chat. I got one of my graphics on a NASA website today.
Let me see. Okay, I see it. Let me get it up real quick. Did you want to present it, or did you need me to?
Yeah, if you could do it, it'd be great. But make sure you turn the sound off.
Okay. Let me do that real quick. Oh, it's Vimo, so it ain't that. Oh, the music, huh? Does Vimo even have a? I don't think it has a volume. I gotta expand. Hang on, I gotta make it big.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Actually, I don't. Oh, there it is. I see. That's not even. Doesn't even look like a volume thing. What the hell is that?
It's old music anyway, so I don't think it would matter that much.
Oh, I honestly, I don't care. I probably get a copyright strike every other show.
Yeah.
It's something to do with I think it's my intro. Sometimes I share stuff, but there's a part in a song in my intro that someone wants, so they fuck me for that. But I don't really care. I like my intro song.
Anyway, this is what I put together 2 or 3 months ago of Mercury transiting the sun this coming November.
Ready?
And NASA was kind enough to use my graphic today.
You want me to go ahead and play it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Not much to it, but it's kind of simplistic, but they used it anyway.
That one little bar is pretty damn loud. Oh well.
I don't see any animation. Oh, there you go.
No, because I hear the music still. And
okay.
I don't care. There you go.
There we go.
What the hell?
But this is what Mercury will do this coming November, and it depends on what area of the Earth that you're watching the event from. If you're in the eastern half of the states, you'll see the whole thing. But if you get into western part of the states, you're not going to see the complete show. And if you're in Australia or China, you won't see a thing. So I wonder why, if you're on a flat Earth, you wouldn't have that problem. But since you're on a spherical Earth, you do have that problem.
Yeah.
Well,
it's those damn lying bastards at NASA again. That's
well, because I was talking
that's
about
what it must be.
I was talking about that earlier with the eclipses. Like, it's just impossible on a flat Earth. Like
Right.
It's in like I think I started to ask someone yesterday, and they got seriously pissed off at me because I asked a question. I was like, so does flat Earth say that people live on the bottom of it now? And you're like, why would you say that? Blah. I'm like, well, first of all, I mean, people see eclipses, and you'd have to like, you don't see eclipse like. I got my brain started hurting again. Like yesterday was a real rough day for me. Like my brain almost liquefied. I mean, it was all good. It was all good. The mind of God, he actually saved the day with those things, bridges.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I'm sorry, that was just awesome. Never heard that happen before. It was great.
But again, you would not be able to see this if you were in Australia or China. What I'm showing in the graphic right now, and if you're on a flat Earth, you should see the whole thing from beginning to end. But it's not happening.
What's the total duration of that transit time?
I think it was 5.5 to 6 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And we had one 3 years ago, but we got another one coming up. Like I said, in November, and then the next one won't show up until 2032 or 2033, one of the two.
What's going to be nice is where I live, it's quite possible if it's right after sunrise, I won't even need a solar filter if the atmospheric conditions are right.
Well, Mercury, you do need a telescope. It's pretty small.
Oh, right. I'm just saying I wouldn't need a solar filter to go on the end of the telescope or the
right. Well, you can project it as well.
Well, I'm lucky enough to live in a place that was in the path of the eclipse last year, and that was absolutely phenomenal. I live on the eastern side of Knoxville, the western side of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, you're in Tennessee. Okay.
And we had about almost a minute and a half, minute and 20 something seconds of it. And that's actually the second one I've seen in my lifetime.
What was the first one?
In just south of Birmingham, Alabama, in 1980. 1980. Well, hell, I can't remember now. 86, maybe. 85.
There was one in 84, but it was an annular eclipse at that time.
It was. Yeah, it was an annular one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah.
So I saw it in 2017 as well. I was closer to the central line at that time.
Yeah, I was not on the center line. I needed to be southeast or southwest of here a bit, but it was still a remarkable event. Absolutely.
Oh, it is. Yeah, tremendously. It was such an event that I was driving my grandkids home on that particular day after the eclipse, and I mean the I-65 from Nashville to Huntsville was just wall-to-wall cars.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is truly, if you get to see one in your lifetime, you're fortunate.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. So, Sean, I was just trying to show you a little bit of my background, and this is what I normally do, a lot of the graphics on astronomy.
Yeah, I've seen a few years before. I enjoy them. If anytime you want to present something like that, just let me know. I'll give you the floor. No problem at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating because if I would have realized how obvious eclipses don't work on flat Earth, I don't think I would have been a flat Earther 2 years ago. So that's frustrating. But I mean, I now know that there are there's got to be like a dozen different types, or like 7 different types of eclipses or something like that. Like, what are you? I don't know. It's like phenomenons behind, like the way things happen or something.
Well, I mean, you got solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, and then you got annular eclipses and partial eclipses, and so on and so forth.
There was another one. Someone said it, and it was has something to do with the horizon.
The selenium, or however you pronounce it. But again, I talked about that one day when you were talking about it. Again, it has to be in the twilight, right soon after sunset or just before moonrise. That's the only time when you have to. Because I mean, if you're anywhere else on Earth, it's either no eclipse or it's a total eclipse with no sun present at all. So selenium, it's got to be in the twilight.
Yeah. I remember that.
Larry, explain how explain how the eclipse shadow can come from the top sometimes of the moon.
Well, it just depends. Well, let me just say this: the moon, when it enters a shadow, goes on the right side of the shadow and exits out the left side of the shadow. It just depends on where you are on Earth, if that is occurring or not.
Right. Yeah, I had a flat earther. Well, they usually ask me, how can the shadow come from the top of the moon and make a downward angle? And I'm like, if it's in a three-dimensional space, why wouldn't it come from the top?
Yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't.
Right.
It's commiserate with latitude, really. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the full 180 depending on your latitude. So the top.
Right. For them, they have that linear line of thinking where the sun is always above us and the moon is always above us. So there's no way the shadow can come from the top. But I keep telling them you have to think it in a more of a three-dimensional space. Don't think linear, that the moon is like above your head.
True.
But,
real simple.
Yeah, for some reason they can't grasp that concept.
I know, it's sad.
Well, you have to spend more than 5 minutes outside looking at the moon, you know.
That is true.
Like the moon, it's like they don't realize the moon can appear to be like it's almost touching the ground. That doesn't mean the moon is touching the ground. It's just the angle in which you are at while the moon, is orbiting you. You just happen to see it lit up, and it looks like it's close to the ground. That doesn't mean the moon has fallen out of the sky. That's just ridiculous.
No, through the course of the night, it actually looks like it kind of turned around. That's pretty normal. It does it every night.
Fun stuff in astronomy.
Yeah,
of course they always get mad. What do you mean linear thinking? I'm like, the moon isn't floating above you, you dipshit. It's in 3 dimensions. Like, I don't understand what you're not understanding.
Has anybody seen Mr. Thrive and Survives nonsense lately about the jumps in the yeah. He claims the moon suddenly rotates 20 degrees. Just in the course of.
Oh, I saw a partial of that where he was saying it on a clock. I just stopped listening. It's like.
I like the one. I like the one where he was measuring the temperature of a wallet.
Gentlemen,
that was awful.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Actually, I got to take off. I got to go do my thing for the day. So I'll leave this open if you guys want to keep chatting it up. And I'll put the link in the chat. But I do got to take off. I kind of stretched my time a little long, so I'm kind of in a hurry to take off. I do apologize if anyone was about to wanted to present anything else. But I'll be on tomorrow, and shit. Any of you guys want to come on, you're more than welcome anytime.
Thank you.
I'm gonna end. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna end this hangout. Before I go though, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna display my screen basically, and I'm gonna show you how to do the double hangout that I was trying to explain to Jose. It's a little complicated, and as in if you haven't done it for the first time, it's not gonna work. So you have to do it off air. I had to talk to Jose. Does anyone know if Jose's on a regular little laptop, huh?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it'll work on a laptop because I have multiple screens, so it's easy for me to do. But you need to be able to see both windows at the same time, and I don't know if you'll be able to do all that. It seems like maybe a lot for him. But there is a way. He needs to go to Zoom. Anybody, if you guys don't have Zoom, you guys need to. Zoom is just as easy to register for. It's free, especially as a guest. And I mean, Zoom has a waiting room. Like literally, the host has to take the person from a waiting room and then put them into the main room, and they can't snipe anybody. It's impossible.
I apologize for earlier about Pillbox, but the guy is known for sniping, and He has dog.
Did Phil not come back in here?
Well, see,
No.
see what it is I have I have a little bit of bias, not bias towards him, but loyalty towards him. That's better.
I know.
So
How in
I
the
don't
world
think
do you
he'll.
have a loyalty to pillbox?
I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll snipe my panel, but I know him. You know him. You knew that was coming. I knew it was
How
coming.
long?
So,
Oh, I've known him ever since he's been known as Pobox.
Oh yeah. Yeah. See,
how long have
so,
you known Pillbox, Sean?
About
how long?
Just about 2.5 years now. It's
I'm
not.
not
It's not the exact little personal like the interaction.
I've been knowing Pillbox since
I don't really
Marty
want to just get into it,
Yeah,
but
I've known-
there was a situation that I needed advice, and he actually gave
I've
me
known Pillbox.
very sound advice. So I took that to heart. So that's where it is. I don't want to get into detail, but he's a good person. He's not always like that.
I've known Pillbox since Nadia's hanged out back when Brett King was on here and everything.
Well,
so I remember when he was Pobox. Pobox is in
okay, but here's the thing. I am not religious at all, and he is. And I can go over to his I can go to his live chat, and I can get on his panel if I wanted to, and that's not heard of there. Like they banned fucking atheists, especially globe. Like, but I get respect over there. So it's not the same to me. So if he acts a way to you guys, that's you guys. And until until you have like
which hangout are you talking about? You talking about the what is that called?
Can I do a Pillbox impression for you?
Go ahead.
Oh my god.
What do you mean, Sean? I never let you onto my live stream. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me. I want an answer, Sean. Sean, give me an answer. Watch. Nobody's going to give him an answer. He's not going to give an answer. He's not going to give an answer. See, I asked him, and he's not giving an answer.
Nettle's got him down to a T.
Record that,
hey, Sean,
and then fast forward it
Sean.
just a little. He's a little faster, but I mean, he has experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I do got to take off, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on tomorrow. It's gonna be earlier. Today was a major clusterfuck with my my audio, so I do apologize for anyone that was waiting. Sorry. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be fun because I have now the sparked interest into proving everything with my painter app. Because it looks fun, and I did it today. It was great.
Cool.
So I'm gonna take 2 minutes just to talk about a couple things, and then I'll show you guys real quick how basically easy it is to do these things. Because I'm a caveman, and I did it while I was streaming. So that's how easy it is to figure out why you can't live on a flat Earth. Guys, appreciate it. I will talk to most of you guys by tomorrow anyway. So I'll see you, Larry. I'll see you on the panel tomorrow. I'm gonna get on Jose's early.
All right, Sean. Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys. That's the fun of it. Again, the only thing I want to express in this is that there shouldn't be any bias in this, right? You shouldn't have shouldn't have a conclusion to a test that you haven't done yet. Correct? Well, I feel that I've shown, reasonable doubt, I have shown, without a doubt, is what I meant to say, that literally it's not hard to have the idea, the concept of where we live. I've noticed this just in messing around with my paint app. We're looking at a flat line, right? It's not. I mean, what you're seeing there, it looks like a building and everything, but you come out. There's no way in hell you would have seen that if you lived on an Earth that was that big. That's not what we were looking at. I mean, it's pretty bad when when you want to explain one thing and show how right you are, but not be willing to take this into account. Why isn't this taken into account when it comes to, do we live on a globe? This is evidence. Doesn't look, you said, I mean, I've heard it so many damn times that it's implanted. I don't care what you say. If you're going to tell me that don't look flat, regardless, because if you're standing there, it's gonna feel fat. It's gonna feel flat. This is a painting app. Don't mind the damn lines, people. Let's be real now. Let's keep it real. And if that's the case, I can move it over so that where it is straight is gonna be there. It's not rocket science. You guys are making this seem like we're lying. I'm not. What the fuck? I got no reason to fucking lie to nobody about this. How did I lie about this? How did I make that look flat? But realistically, it's a fucking circle. How did that work? If you came in here not knowing, you wouldn't have known that was a ball. You'd have no clue. You would have thought it was a flat thing with a little red dot on it. Let's keep it real. That's one. Just one. There's other. I mean, like in the two I'm showing right now, and this is again, this isn't a presentation. This is real quickly showing you what I was able to figure out and understand within a 15-minute window of this live stream while I was like everything was going on. Now, am I being disingenuous when I show this? Am I lying? What am I falsifying? Because I showed that little building and Harry's, he showed you on a model that was to scale. So if it was that size, everything would be this to scale, and it looked exactly like this. So you don't need to be a rich millionaire with the best programs in the world. Decent program, shitty program, both have the same observations. When you plug in your observations to these simulation models, they depict exactly what we see. Now, let's do it for flat Earth. I mean, it's right. It's only fair. Let's do it for flat Earth then. Okay, here you go. Get to that window real quick. I still need that. Okay, there you go. It's pretty basic right there. Let me go ahead and move it over a little bit. All right. So right now, let's move this out the way. So you guys can see right off the bat, that blue line is flat. Now, here's the problem with how the flat Earth believes things are seen. Now, understand this. If we lived on a flat Earth, the flat plane would be flat. Going to go on. Now, if there's a guy standing on that ground, blue line, and a guy standing on this little ledge up here, you guys understand that their view is going to be the same for as far as they can see. As far as they can see, as far as the atmosphere allows them to, as far as the light, the sun and the blah, 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 it doesn't matter. Their vision, their perspective will be the same. Look, different elevations will be the same. Even better than that, when the guy on the top or any other higher elevation looks at flat Earth, say from up here, their horizon, this flat right here, that doesn't change. That's what they keep trying to explain to you. No matter what, no matter whatever way you look at this thing, look. So even if you're higher up, no matter what, flat Earth is always going to see flat. Always going to see flat. That's it. Not going to be able to see past that. That blue line is all you're going to see. Straight. Mountains and all that stuff. Okay, well, if you're thinking that way, then we can go. Look, I went higher. No matter what, your horizon stays where the horizon is. If I come down, do this real quick. So from here, no matter what, it's not like I'm going to be able to look further, no matter what elevation I'm at. Doesn't matter. Not going to matter. That horizon, it's going to stay the same all the way through. Now, we're going to be objective, right? Let's honestly look at it from if it was on a globe now, right? Because if you saw me moving those little stars, those are where it depicts exactly what we see. So, say we're right here. And I know it's not a perfect star. I know, or a perfect Earth. I know, but it gets the point done perfectly. Very good. There's no doubt about it. I don't even need anyone to back. It's good. No, I know it's perfect. Fine. So, like I was saying, flat Earth is the blue line. Red line is us. Now, again, let's go down, get to find that curve. Now, remember how actually, I don't even need the blue line. So remember how I told you those stars were there, right? So this is what I was using the stars for. So we got that. Now we got all right. And again, I'm still learning this, so fight me if you got a problem. Okay, so that will work. Okay, there's horizon 1. So from where that guy's standing, his horizon's right there. Again, like we've said, the horizon is the beginning of the curve that you can't see. Where the destruction starts. Everything past that, you're going to start losing it. Obviously, we've all seen that map. I'm not going that far into it. Now, again, if that guy somehow gains elevation, go ahead and do the same thing again, where we're going to just keep going down. Because remember, the higher elevation, your horizon changes. Okay, now it's touching there. First spot's touched right there. Again, whatever I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing something wrong, I'm staring at the chat. Feel free to just say, hey, you're doing it wrong, and then go get your little paint thing and do it yourself and show me where I'm wrong. Oh no, did I just lose? There it is. Not do that again. Shorter. All right, there you go. Put it back up. Right there. And I'm not sure if you're catching the trend or not, but if you haven't noticed, the higher I go, the further my horizon moves away from me. That's cut and dry. I'm not doing anything NASA-like. I'm not doing anything like that. Like literally, like what we're looking at is just me playing with lines and going up and coming back down. But it shows that what we're saying is no other way. I showed there's no way to explain those 3 horizon spots. No way. Can't. Love you guys. Keep it real. Time to start showing evidence. Time to figure shit out. Let's do it.
but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this. Cross my shit, you'll be knocked unconscious, bitch. That's the consequence, I got this, I will not quit. Man, I'm on it, honest, I'm gonna launch quick, then I'm gone. It's just a matter of time before I'm over the climb and moving under my prime.